Once again, this is Chris report, and he assured me that St. Simon's down in Boulders. Folks, this is Chris Wyatt reporting from South Africa.
And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. At this hour on the 13th of July, 2024, President Donald Trump is alive and well, surviving an assassination attempt after 6 years of violent rhetoric by leftist demonic lunatics calling for his death and assassination. I've told people this in my interviews, and I've said this throughout. While the fake prosecutions of Donald Trump have continued over the past few years, the bogus impeachments, I've said all they have done except attempt to assassinate him. That has occurred tonight. Donald Trump, the OG, the original gangster, the man who stood up, shot in the head. Donald Trump, assassination attempt tonight, shot in the head at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, ducks and takes cover while the useless DEI-led Secret Service failed to protect our president. He protects himself, taking cover after being shot in the head. Donald Trump survives the assassination attempt, and as the cowardly, useless, feckless, fuckwad Secret Service, led by DEI hire Cheerios executive, fucking don't do their job, Donald Trump led from the stage, defiantly raising his hand and telling people to continue. Ladies and gentlemen, they have done everything they can to destroy this republic, everything they can, burying us in debt, turning us into serfs, destroying our foreign policy, undermining our liberty here at home, COVID lockdowns, suspension of liberty, imprisonment of political prisoners. The list goes on. And today, someone, after all this garbage, attempted to murder the President of the United States. That assassin is dead this evening, taken out by a sniper who blew the top of his head off, according to reports. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 hours ago, an attempt was made on the life of the President of the United States, and the media denied it. CNN initially reported it as Trump falls at rally. After he was shot in the head, Trump falls at rally. Let's replay what happened. Trump shot in the head while he's talking. More shots, drops to the ground. That's what you do. And the useless Secret Service nowhere to be seen, off stage, not even within distance to save the president's life. How do they get through? How did the DEI Secret Service allow someone to get that close to the president with a weapon? Ladies and gentlemen, conspiracy theorists, it's time to pull out your conspiracies. Was this orchestrated at the highest levels of our government? Was this orchestrated by the Demon Rat National Party? Was this orchestrated by the clown car show around Joe Biden? Or will we have to believe the narrative that this was a Trump supporter who did this? Will we have to believe this was simply a mentally deranged person who did this? Or will we find out, in fact, the truth of the matter here? Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. What have I been telling people since before my trip to South Africa? They've done everything except attempt to assassinate the President of the United States. At this hour, the media trying to deny what happened, denying it. But we all saw what happened. Let's watch it again, ladies and gentlemen, as they attempt to murder the President of the United States. He's turned sideways, and that's probably what saved his life. Had he been turned the other direction, the bullet probably would have gone through the center of his brain. Unbelievable. Donald Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania, 3 hours ago.
If you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, CNN reports that Trump falls at a rally. Biden denies an assassination attempt occurred. Wow. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, these idiots have just ensured that Donald Trump will win a landslide victory in November. I was predicting 38 states. I'll up that to 45. 45 states. Trump takes 45 states. Only the lunatic domains of California and New York stay outside of his reach, and places like Massachusetts. Wow. Let's continue that video. Where's the Secret Service? Where? Finally. Finally, the Secret Service are up there. They cowered. The Secret Service cowered. This is not the Secret Service that saved the life of Reagan, who took bullets for Reagan. These cowards cowered and hid off stage while they attempted to murder the President of the United States. Did you see that? Must I play that again? Let's watch this again. The useless, feckless DEI Secret Service attempted to allow the President to be murdered on stage. Watch it again. Watch how long it takes for the Secret Service to come up. They wait till the shooting is over. Watch this.
And if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
4 seconds before the first Secret Service agent gets to the president. I don't want to hear, don't denigrate the Secret Service. I want to hear that they give their lives, they defend the president. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark. I told you this was going to happen, folks. Sadly, it is the case. They have attempted to assassinate the President of the United States. And the fake President of the United States denies that it occurred. Then goes on with an amphetamine-fueled speech to talk about it. An attempted assassination, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we witnessed here tonight about 3 hours ago. Trump injured in shooting in Pennsylvania, according to the captured news network. Former President Donald Trump was rushed off stage with blood on his ear and face after a shooting during his Saturday evening rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. Trump fell to the ground after the first pop of shots rang out. No, Trump did not fall to the ground. Trump sought cover, as any soldier would do. As any soldier would do. Lies, lies. Trump fell to the ground. You saw it. Did he fall? No, he went to the ground intentionally. These scumbags can't even report the attempted assassination of the president with the truth. It is time to deal with the fake media. He appeared to be calling out to the crowd and could be seen pumping his fists. He was whisked away into a vehicle. Trump posted on Truth Social later, thanking the Secret Service and law enforcement for the response to the shooting. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong, in that I heard a whizzing sound. Shots immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then what was happening. God bless America, Trump wrote. The shooting is being investigated as a possible assassination attempt? A possible assassination attempt? What planet are these morons on? And this is how it was reported. An incident occurred the evening of July 13th at a Trump rally in Pennsylvania. The Secret Service was implementing protective measures the former president saved. This is now an active Secret Service investigation, and further information will be released when available. Really? Ladies and gentlemen, do you know who runs the Secret Service? Let me show you the director of the Secret Service. Director Kimberly Cheadle, the 27th director of the Secret Service, was sworn in on September 17th, 2022. Yes. Prior to her appointment, Ms. Cheadle served as a senior director in global security at PepsiCo, where she was responsible for implementing and security protocols for the company's facilities in North America. Her role at PepsiCo involved risk management assessment and protecting Cheetos. Protecting Cheetos. That's what she did at PepsiCo. This is the woman responsible for protecting the President of the United States. Cheetos. Are you serious? Cheetos. Give me a frickin' break. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This DEI hire is put in charge of 7,800 special agents, uniformed division officers, technical law enforcement officers, administrative, professional, and technical personnel. And what does she accomplish in life? Defending Cheetos and Lay's potato chips. Unbelievable. No, it was an assassination attempt. Unbelievable. Trump is safe after a shooting at rally. This from the New York Times. Suspected gunman killed. Suspected gunman. Good Lord. We only have 30,000 witnesses. Former President Trump was rushed to the hospital after shooting just minutes into his rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. Left one rally attendee and a suspected gunman dead. 2 other rally attenders were critically injured. The mayor of Slippery Rock, Pennsylvania was seated in the front row when the shots rang out. I'm just in disbelief this could happen. He said, adding was the former Marine and thought he heard a bullet ricochet off bleachers. No, I'm not in shock. After years of this garbage, which we've been watching, let me find where I've got this at. I've got it here somewhere. Give me a second here. Where have I got this? This is the crap we've been dealing with for years, right here. Okay, this is why this sort of thing happens. You ready for this? There you go. Remember that? Kathy Griffin holding up a head of Donald Trump. Nothing happened to her. Nothing happened to her. This is the rhetoric. Just days ago, Nancy Pelosi said Donald Trump must be stopped at any cost. Yep, that's what she said just days ago. Nancy Pelosi. Yep. Now, it's interesting because what's going on here is utter nonsense with garbage coming out of the pontificators. Oops, wrong one. Coming out of the pontificators. Sorry, I'm trying to get to the right place here. Where is my... So I can... What's going on here? Something's not right. There we go. Desktop audio. There we go. Here we go. Desktop audio. So listen to Lester Holt from NBC.
Okay, but you bring up a point I think we will all be talking about, and that is, of course, we don't know what the motivation was for this, but it certainly comes at a time that we are all keenly aware of the deep divisions and the risk of political violence. Is it something you even thought about as you set out to attend this rally tonight?
Wow. Lester Holt, moron from NBC. We know what the motivation was. It was to kill Donald Trump. Jackie, these rallies will continue because Trump is an OG. He's a real leader. Yeah, no, the Democrats are done. That's it. Donald Trump, 45 state electoral tsunami. It's over. Yes, another comedian said that Biden should order assassination of Trump. In fact, in the days after the decision granting Trump's immunity, which they didn't grant, they simply codified what was implied in the Constitution, that officers have immunity for their official acts. The Supreme Court decision, all we heard was now Biden can order assassination of Trump. Biden can do this because he's president. They pushed this narrative. So let me see who's in the chat here very quickly before we continue on with the news at this hour. Donald Trump alive and well. The OG standing up after being shot in the head, ladies and gentlemen. Donald Trump shot in the head. The man shot in the head is more awake, alive, conscious, cogent, lucid than the president of the United States, Joe Biden, is. Teresa says, just watch the clip. I saw the rooftop, shooter on the rooftop. Security literally blew us out. Yep. Tommy Sides, God bless Donald Trump. He is America's eagle. Arctic says, fuck this shit. This is over, Joe. Exactly. Cluster. Con Engman's in at 3:50 in the morning Eastern in Europe. Europeans will be waking up to this very soon, to the shocking news. Time to hit the bullseye, said Sleepy Joe. Oh, my goodness. Hakan says, it's serious org fenter. Hectic. Arctic says, screw Brandon. No way Biden was conscious enough to give that speech unprepared. He knew about it, is what Arctic is claiming. Mr. Farr says, it doesn't matter who the Democrats field against Trump. He just won the election. That is correct. It's rather spicy in America, John. Yes, it is. You've been saying that for months. Thanks for calling out the weak DEI Secret Service. You're very welcome, Tommy. I've done it before. Pathetic. Courtney says, I've never been a Trump supporter. I'm supporting him now, and attacking him is attacking my country. Exactly right. Gazelle Barrett says, please protect Donald Trump. Teresa, Operation Free America reported interview on the perp from rooftop. He tried to alert security, but they couldn't see him. Who tried to alert security? Yeah, they defend the president, not the former. Yep. Definitely attempt assassination. You're the only one speaking out in anger at the Secret Service. I'm proud of you, sir. Well, thank you, Tommy. Yeah, the Secret Service. I don't want to hear how good and wonderful and how they take a bullet for people. Reagan's Secret Service detail took a bullet for Reagan. That's why he survived. Donald Trump was shot in the head, and the Secret Service stood around, paralyzed, like rookie combatants in their first exposure to fire, not knowing how to respond. 4 seconds before anybody reached the president. Inches from civil war. I told you, RPG, we are inches from civil war. And there's 480 million firearms in this country. People had better not get crazy. Peter Mullen, America, God save Trump to make it. Yes, Peter, you know what? Divine intervention might be in play here. I'm not going to argue that one. Arctic says thoughts for the victim and their family. Yeah, the ones who were killed with bystanders. But this was in poor attempt, certainly no professional shooter. Well, I don't know about that. He was shooting from the other side of the road. Yep. Trump was sitting duck yet. Trump family dynasty to rule the next 10 years. Yep. Biden is history. Witness alerted police to shoot. Thank you. Before Trump started. You see, All right, so that's where the conspiracy starts right there. We're going to hear now that a witness told the police about the shooter before Trump even started speaking. And then the Secret Service waited till 4 shots were fired after Trump dove to the ground. Then they got up. Doc Bricker says thoughts and prayers for the American people. And Shawnee says, I'm glad you're covering the story. Yeah, but I'll probably be censored by YouTube. Watch my channel be taken away for covering the news. I read Trump requested more Secret Service was denied. I don't know about that, Heike. I don't know if that's true or not. Hendo just got home. Search BBC X, great interview, but 8 minutes long. Send it to me on WhatsApp. Okay. All right. Whose interview is it? Trump said he felt the bullet rip through his ear after attacker opened fire at rally, says the BBC. Man. Male attacker was shot and killed by a member of Secret Service after the attempted assassination. After he fired 4 shots. Attacker fired from 200 feet away. 200 feet away. Trump has left the hospital. No one knows where he's headed. Well, no one should know where he's headed. Kamala Harris calls it an abhorrent act. Really?
I have tried to get a hold of Donald. He's with his doctors. Apparently he's doing well. I plan on talking to them shortly, I hope, when I get back to the telephone. Look, there's no place in America for this kind of violence.
Yeah, now that you failed.
It's sick. It's one of the reasons why we have to unite this country. We cannot allow for this to be happening. We cannot be like this. We cannot condone this. And I want to thank the Secret Service and all the agencies, including the state agencies, that have been engaged in making sure that people and we have more detail to come relative to other people maybe injured in the audience. I don't have all that detail. We'll make that available to you. I may be able to come back a little later tonight, but we'll put out a statement if I'm not able to give if it's not convenient for you all. But the bottom line is the Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. Everybody must condemn it. Everybody. I'll keep you informed, and if I'm able to speak to Donald, I'll let you know that as well. So far, it appears he's doing well, number one. Number two, that they're thoroughly investigating what happened to anyone else in the audience. We have some reports, but not final reports. And every agency in the federal government, I'm going back to my phone to speak with the federal agencies that are being put together again to give me an updated briefing. Has anything happened? They learned any more in the last couple hours. So thank you very much, and I hope I get to speak to them tonight, and I'll get back to you if I do. Okay?
Mr. President, do you think this was an assassination attempt?
I don't know enough to. I have an opinion, but I don't have any facts. So I want to make sure we have all the facts before I make any more comments. Thank you.
You don't have enough information. You don't have the facts. Are you serious, Joe Biden? Are you freaking serious? Are you serious? Unbelievable, folks. Hang on a second here. I can't get my browser back. Yeah, unbelievable. Democrats have been pushing. They've been pushing this for years. We saw it with Madonna at his inauguration. We saw it with Kathy Griffin. We saw it over and over again with comedians calling for it. People have been calling for this for years. It was just a matter of time. Now on the verge of Joe Biden being consigned to the dustbin of history, they make an attempt on his life from 200 feet away. Garrett said, this doesn't look like a very professional hitter. Really? I'll tell you what, 200 feet away and the guy hit Trump in the head? That sounds to me like a professional hit. People are so pissed. Arctic says, I was at a wedding in a hotel. It's a deep blue state, and everyone was told to go home. I would be just as pissed off if this happened to Biden. Yeah, well, we would be pissed off because he's actually, sadly, the one holding the office right now. We'd be angry about it, too. But Dogbreaker says, independent reporter citizen journalism should be promoted. Mr. Farr says, I don't like vindictiveness, but if Trump doesn't take revenge on all these people that try to bring him down, the Democrats will just get away. Well, they've been getting away with things for 40 years. No, we have no idea who it was, Heike, and I'm not going to make any claim who it was. I'm not going to claim the conspiracy. But the conspiracy theories will start tonight, folks. What I will tell you is the following. If there's truth to the reported information in the media, lots of information will be passed around now. Verifying will be hard to do because I'm not on the ground. I'm not in Butler, Pennsylvania. That's a good 3 hours west of me. So I'm 3 hours east of where that assassination attempt occurred this evening. That was a rally I was going to go to in 2020, but I didn't feel like driving the 4 hours to stand in a field all day long, so I didn't go to it. Shooter's identity is being shared on X. Okay, well, I didn't see that, so we'll have to go there and check that out. Yeah, so what I can say is this. 200 feet away, purportedly, someone in the crowd reported the shooter to the police who took no action before Trump ever took the stage. If that's true, and it was from 200 feet away, and they got 4 shots off, they weren't boom, 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 boom. It was boom, 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 boom. 4 seconds. No Secret Service around the president. It took them 4 seconds after he'd been shot in the head, and then, looking around, Trump sought cover. Only then did the cowards from the Secret Service, from the DEI, diversity, exclusivity, and inquisitivity nonsense actually respond to protect the former president. Probably hoped he was dead by then. Francois Fenneves was, I don't know, this is a direct attack on America. Trump will be president now. Yes, Greg, he will. Trump will win a 45 state. I predicted 38 states. I'm going to up it tonight based on this to 45. Again, this is the director of the Secret Service. Former PepsiCo executive who protected Cheetos and Lay's potato chips. In charge of risk management. This is who they hire. Diversity, equity, and inclusiveness. Yeah, a lack of diversity, inequality, and exclusiveness. That's what that is. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wow. Benny Thompson, the top Democrat in Pelosi's January 6th committee, had actually called for Trump be stripped of his Secret Service. The racist black Benny Thompson tried to take Donald Trump's Secret Service protection away. Well, they might as well. We saw that it was ineffective tonight. Look at that. That black racist right there. Benny Thompson. Teresa says a homeowner tried to warn security for a couple minutes before shooting started. From an open rooftop, which has a clear line of stage, but Secret Service did. Exactly. Ladies and gentlemen, this is total bullshit. This is a setup. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. You've known me for 4 years. I would never perpetrate the conspiracies. But I will tell you this. I have been present and observed the Secret Service checking every freaking thing under the sun. Every rock, every building, every angle, with laser beams, with pointers to look and see any possible effort that anyone could shoot. Any ingress, every egress route, every single spot on a route. In Africa, in Liberia, I saw this to protect President Bush. And you're going to tell me that Donald Trump is able to have someone sit with a clear line of sight from 200 feet away with a sniper rifle and attempt to murder him, and the Secret Service is doing their job? No, they are not. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. All right, let me get to what's supposedly my WhatsApp here. There it is. Clay Travis, man at Trump rally, claims to have seen the shooter on the roof. Okay, there it is. Okay. Let's listen in on this.
Someone who was here. You weren't inside the event, nope, but you were just outside. Tell us what you saw and what.
So we had a party here all day. You can see behind us at the Brinkles Farming Greenhouse here. We had a party, and we all decided, hey, you know, when we hear Trump up there, we're going to walk up through the field, stand by the trees up there under the shade, and watch and listen to the rally. Right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, you know. But we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, and, you know, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle, absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on. You know, we're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2 or 3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this, and next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he...
Now, that raises a few questions here. Of course, John Hootson saying he's here. It was a National Guard building. First off, if President's in place and Secret Service snipers are in place to take out someone, they're not crawling around like bear crawling on a rooftop, okay? So either the guy is lying or this was allowed to happen. All right? All kinds of possibilities here. We will hear all kinds of excuses and lies come out about this over the next 72 hours by the corrupt establishment that allowed the president to nearly be murdered tonight. Unbelievable.
He was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service?
We were telling the police. We were pointing at them for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not.
Secret Service had binoculars and they were looking at them, but they weren't looking at the shooter on top of a rooftop. How do you have lines of sight not under control? This does not happen, ladies and gentlemen. This does not happen. And let me tell you something. When I was in Liberia dealing with the Secret Service and they were doing these checks, that was the third string because Bush went to 7 countries in Africa and the Secret Service was spread out all over Africa with the advanced team, with the team on the ground, with the post-operation team spread across 7 countries. We were the last stop on the trip and we had the third string Secret Service agents, and they did a job 1,000% better than what occurred in Butler today. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen, unbelievable.
Because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Did you see, I mean, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they...
Be careful, I don't know who's watching.
They shot the guy.
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to him afterwards, or...?
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over.
It's incredibly shocking.
The guy was on the roof right there. You can see the white roof right there.
Did you get a look at him? Could you?
No, other than he was in muted colors, tan type clothing. We saw the rifle flinging around as he was trying to crawl.
The guy's got a beer in his hand.
Do you know about guns? Do you know what kind of weapon it was?
Oh, I absolutely know about guns, for sure. I mean, it was a rifle of some sort. I wouldn't know, I wasn't close enough to read the label on it, but,
sure. But
it was a rifle of some sort. Yeah, absolutely.
So how do you process what you've just seen?
Well, how do you process it? Well, good Lord. You begin to ask questions. What the hell is the Secret Service's role? What were they doing there? Why is the person in charge of the Secret Service the person who protected Cheetos from being stolen and Lay's potato chips from being crushed in their shipping containers? That's the extent of her service. Yes. Wow. Unbelievable. This is what you get when you hire diversity, equity, and inclusiveness and not the most talented people for the job. This is what you get when you allow men to dress up as women and pretend that they're women, and women to dress up as men and pretend they're men, and compete in ethnic competition and for jobs for people who are not the people they're supposed to be competing against. This is the garbage you get.
I don't know what to say, man. All I'll tell you is, if I walked up close to there with anything that Secret Service considered a problem, I wouldn't be standing here talking to you right now. But I don't know why a guy who we're standing there pointing out to police and Secret Service is crawling up the roof. Yes, right there by that tree.
He's pointing out the roof.
But my question is, there's only a few buildings around here. Why is Secret Service not on every building here?
Well, there's a whole bunch of questions I think that are going to come.
Yeah, there will be.
Questions.
Yeah.
Yes, she was right in front of me. She kept going back and forth right in front of me. Yes.
Tell us about her.
I mean, nice horse, nice lady running with a flag. Seemed very,
Oh, so they're worried about a Trump supporter who was on horseback with a flag. Not the shooter. Not the fact the president was nearly murdered. Unbelievable.
patriotic.
But what's the significance of that?
No, he asked me if I saw a horse.
Okay. All right, well listen, I'm sorry you had to witness that. That was a terrible thing. and you just stay safe with your family and look after yourself. Thanks for.
Wow, good Lord. Oh, stop it, Menage a Trois. Stop it. Stop it right there. Stop it right there. No, that's a silly comment. That's a silly comment. DEI is why this person was hired for the job. She's not a law enforcement official. She's not a counterintelligence agent. She's not an experienced intelligence operator. She's a corporate safety manager. And she became the head of the Secret Service. Spare me. Don't even try. Don't even try to say, no, I never made that claim, and don't even try it, Menage a Trois. No, that's just silly. That's just silly. Yes, Chris, that's right. Now they'll try to blame MAGA extremists for retaliating against them. Watch, this will be spun within 24 hours. That threats to the president now. President Biden is in danger from extremists from the right who are trying to retaliate because of the shooting at the Trump rally. Oh, they're trying. You watch. They'll make Biden a victim here. That's how it's going to go forward. That's how it's going to go forward. Biden is going to spin this for himself. Wow, unbelievable. Trump shooting being investigated as an attempt assassination. It is an assassination attempt, you morons. It's only CNN. 1 rally attendees dead, 2 are critically injured. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. I told you it was just a matter of time before they attempted to assassinate the president. Just a matter of time. Washington Times reports President Trump survives assassination attempt in a volatile race. Shooter is dead. Rally attendee killed. Trump bloodied. Former President Trump was injured but survived an assassination attempt Saturday in which a gunman was shot dead and a Trump supporter was killed at a campaign rally here in Pennsylvania. The chaotic scene unfolded as Mr. Trump was speaking on stage at the rally in Butler County when the sound of multiple shots rang out. Secret Service agents swarmed around the presumptive Republican nominee after he ducked behind his position. No, they didn't swarm around him. They waited 4 seconds until the shooter had fired all of his shots before they attempted to protect the president. Wow. Wow. 78-year-old Trump shot in the head. Wow. Republican Senate candidate David McCormick told Fox News he had a front row seat at the rally and heard a number of shots. He noted there were 7 or 8 shots. Said someone behind him was wounded. David McCormick, of course, is a U.S. Army West Point graduate and a veteran of the U.S. military, a billionaire and candidate for the Senate here in Pennsylvania. There's a lot of blood. The police came in and helped carry that person out of the stand so that they could get care they needed. I'm not sure if the others were injured or not, said McCormick. The attempt on Trump's life comes 2 days before the Republican National Convention is set to open Monday in Milwaukee. An extraordinary turn of events has upended an already volatile presidential race. Secret Service is conducting a criminal investigation. According to reports from eyewitnesses, it appeared multiple shots were fired from a small caliber weapon. Wow. Trump says, look forward to joining you all in Milwaukee when we proceed with our convention nominate for 47th President of the United States. Now, this is where, instead of the CNN saying he fell down or he collapsed, at the rally, the sounds of gunfire rang through the crowd, and the video shows Mr. Trump briefly reaching toward the side of his head before taking cover behind the podium. And that's exactly what he did. Yeah, Favert was assassinated, Courtney. He was stabbed to death. Wow. Unbelievable, folks. Blaze Media says shooter at the rally is dead as well as 1 attendee. Can you imagine that? You go to visit the president. Actually, the guy with his arm up kind of looks like McCormick. That isn't him, but it looks like him. 2 Trump rally spectators were critically injured. Trump campaign spokesman Stephen Chung said in a statement, President Trump thanks law enforcement first responders for quick action. Yeah, it wasn't quick action. I'm sorry. It's pathetically slow. Trump whisked off stage. Sounds of apparent shots sparked chaos during his rally. Biden says he's grateful Trump is safe. Yeah, I believe that. Not. Let's see what South African media is saying about it this hour. If any of them are awake. South African media. Nope. The South African media is not even covering the story yet. They're still sleeping. Yep, still sleeping. Huh. Wow. Let's go for German news. Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitungen. Sicherheitsleute holen verletzten Trump von der Bühne. Yeah, they're saying that the security people have grabbed him from the wounded Trump from the stage. That's the the Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung. Let's go to the Irish Times and see what they've got to say. Irish Times loading up now. Irish Times, Trump safe after being shot in ear at campaign rally. It's not even a front page story. It's just a headline. That's how little they care about Trump. Let's go to Le Monde. See what Le Monde has got to say. Trump evacuated from rally and stage after Pennsylvania shooting. It is a front page story for them. What else we got here? My goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, it's unbelievable. Yeah, they won't until the AP figures out the spin. Oh, yeah, you're talking about... It's funny. Yeah, until the Associated Press tells them what they're supposed to write. Trump rally investigated his assassination attempt. This is from the Associated Press. Yeah, my goodness. A lot of mayhem, says one eyewitness account. Wow. Watch, I bet you this, folks. You ready for this? You ready for this? Within a week, Democratic operatives will say that this was done intentionally. Trump set this all up. You watch. They'll try this. They'll try this garbage. Well, Donald Trump, they faked an assassination attempt on him so that he could get sympathy. Watch. You heard it here first. Watch. They'll try anything. They'll try anything. Good way to get rid of Biden now, blaming the bag extremists. Yep. Hey, Guts, how's it going? Chris Holmes says she also goes on to say her staff are a diverse workforce. Just know which camp she's in. Yep. Direct correlation between DEI and competency, Chris. We are experiencing across all departments, even at Boeing. Yeah, no, Doc Breaker, I got you. What I'm saying is that Menage a Trois made a statement implying that I was stating that every time there's a failure, it's because of DEI. That's not what I was saying. No. See, we'll have a group hug tonight. Yeah, exactly. Mr. Farr says, looking past the election landslide, what would the American political landscape look like now? Do we see a split in the union? No. First off, you have to understand that the political left are a bunch of pansies. Very few people in the political left are real men or real women with the fortitude and confidence in who they are to actually do what's right when the time matters. No, that's not going to happen. We're not going to have a civil war. Yep. Bloody Sheep here saying they should ban guns. Like, oh my, are you serious? In Australia, that's what they're saying. All right, let's go to the Age. Let's go to the Age and see what's going on with the Australian press. Felt the bullet. Trump says he was shot in the ear. Musk endorses former president moments after shooting. Oh, Elon Musk has endorsed Donald Trump now. I didn't know that. Wow. So the Age is covering this. This is an Australian newspaper. Wow. Republicans blame Biden campaign rhetoric and media. Well, why should they blame? Why should they blame that? So Elon Musk has endorsed Donald Trump. I didn't see that. What we know so far, Donald Trump appeared to be the target of assassination attempt at a rally. No, he didn't appear. He was the target. Secret Service agents surrounded Trump after multiple shots were fired. What they don't say is it took them at least 4 seconds to accomplish that. Trump said on social media the bullet pierced his upper right ear. Police said the Secret Service agents had killed the shooter. Trump's campaign team said he was fine. Trump will still attend the Republican convention on Monday. Yep. U.S. Senator and potential Republican Vice Presidential pick J.D. Vance has blamed Biden campaign's rhetoric for spurring violence in Butler. The central premise of the Biden campaign is that President Trump is an authoritarian fascist who must be stopped at all costs. That rhetoric led directly to President Trump's attempted assassination. The claim by Vance comes amid a charged political campaign with two radically different agendas offered by Trump and Biden. Biden has sounded the alarm for Project 2025, which has nothing to do with Donald Trump. He's lying about that. That's the Heritage Foundation. Yep. What's the DEI Secret Service leader's name? I already gave it to you. Are you not paying attention? I already gave you her name. My goodness. Kimberly Cheadle. Kimberly Cheadle. Would you like to look her up there, Menage a Trois? Kimberly Cheadle. Yes, I did, Graham. CNN claimed that Trump fell at the rally. Now, you guys can decide for yourself. Those 55 are currently here with me, 57. Let's go ahead and we're going to play this again, folks. Let me get this up here very quickly. I'm going to play this video again. You can see what happened here. This is as it unfolded. This is the actual shooting as it unfolded. Let me get, that's not what I want. Hang on a second to get the right one up. So let me get this up here. All right, so Trump, the gunfire is fired. You can listen to it, about 20 seconds here. Trump turns because he got hit in the ear. He sees the blood. Another shot rings out. Trump takes cover. He doesn't fall. And then they finally show up. The Secret Service.
And if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
5 seconds. I just counted. It was 5 seconds, not 4 seconds. 5 seconds it took them to respond. 5 seconds, not 4 seconds. Unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable. It took the Secret Service 5 seconds to respond, not 4. I counted it. Yep. It was 5 seconds after the first shot was fired when they finally showed up to protect the President of the United States. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So people are telling me to check something. Hang on a second here. What is this? Check Paul. What's Paul Polifer? Who is Paul Polifer? I don't know who that is. What is Paul Polifer? P-A-U-L-P-O-L-I-F-E-R. Never heard of Paul Polifer. Is Paul Polifer obituary? Paul Polifer. Never heard of him. Doesn't come up. There's no such person as Paul Polifer. I don't know what you want me to check there, Peter. Yep, Trump with an earring. Yikes. Thought Mike bid him at first. That's funny. Yep. Yeah, exactly, Arctic. They're already saying it's staged. See, I told you. What'd I tell you? They're already going to claim it's staged. Yeah. Yep. They're already going to pull that crap. Redacted. I never cover redacted. So let's go to redacted. Where do I find redacted? On Twitter? There we go. Oh, those two, I find they do nothing for me. Yeah, what do you mean they're all over it? They've got one video. How's that all over it? I don't see. I'm sorry. Don't see it there. Paul is from Canada. Never heard of him. Is he on Twitter? Help me out there, Peter. Is he on Twitter? I'll try Twitter. I mean, I do a search for that name. Nothing turns up. What would he possibly know from Canada? Paul, P-O-L-I-F-E-R. Paul Polifer. No. Nothing comes up under that name. Nothing. No such thing. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I mean, you got to give me more information than that. Picture Trump bleeding with the flag behind him. His fist in the air is one for the history books. Exactly. Yep, he got more street cred than any president. Well, no, Hendo. I think he got a lot of street cred, but Reagan got a lot too. Yep. Unbelievable. How the hell was such an obvious line of sight not secured? Oh, wow. Is that the shooter? Hang on a second. That looks like the shooter. Oh, yeah. Here's the shooter on the roof. You can see he's been taken out, and here he is. There he is right there. That's the roof. The guy said it was a white roof. There's the shooter right there. Wow.
You can see the guy down. I think they hit him because the guy he looks dead.
That's because he is dead. Wow. That's crazy. I'm going to save that one before it disappears. They're going to try to make all this stuff go away. You watch. Donald Trump just guaranteed a electoral landslide in this election. Yeah. Picture his face all bloody. Looks like, I don't know what it looks like, Graham. I can't say that, but yep. No, that's, wow. Oh, Okay, Canadian politician running against Justin Trudeau. Dude, you got to learn how to spell better. I mean, that's okay. That's not who you're talking about. Okay, Canadian opposition. I know who you're talking about now. Pierre Poilievre. Oh, that's who you're talking about. Oh my goodness. Okay, you said Paul Poilievre. That was not the same. So what do you want me to check on him? What do you want me to check on him? Okay. Condemn in strongest terms attempted murder of Trump. Okay. There's nothing here from him. What do you want me to find? I don't understand what you want me to find. There's nothing in his Twitter account. Okay. Yeah, no, Trump left the hospital some time ago, Hendo. It's just being reported now. Close-up image of his face. Now, I haven't seen those images. Yeah, let me see if I can find something on Google. Okay. For images here. Yeah, there's talk about who he is here. Let's see if I can't find it. Shooter at Trump rally was in a building adjacent to the gathering, says District Attorney. Butler County District Attorney Richard Goldinger tells People magazine that shooter who opened fire was on a building that was adjacent to the venue. In a post on X, Secret Service spokesperson Anthony Guglielmi confirmed the suspected shooter fired multiple shots. Shooter's dead after being neutralized by Secret Service agents. Yep. Neither the shooter nor the victims have been identified. Yep. Oh, my goodness. People saying Kimberly Cheadle must resign. Wow. Unbelievable. Direct line of sight to the stage. Wow. Here's what somebody has already put on. This is by John Cardillick. He put this on, and you can see there's where Trump was speaking, and there's where the roof was directly across the street. What kind of morons allow this sort of thing happen? This has to be intentional, or it's incompetence of the highest level. It has to be intentional, willful, negligence, or a conspiracy, or the highest level of incompetence possible ever here. Look at that. How in the fuck do you have a building that close with nobody? Why wasn't the Secret Service on top of that building? Peter says, same what Elon said. Sorry for the spelling. No, it's okay, Peter. But I mean, I don't know what you're talking about when you give me that name. That's why I said I never heard of that person. Yes, I know who you're talking about there. He's a conservative in Canada. But there's nothing that there's nothing on his Twitter account. Sorry, Peter. I'm not giving you a hard time. I didn't know who Paul Poilievre was, because there's no Paul Poilievre. Yeah, it's Pierre Poilievre. Surely they must have ID of a shooter. I'm sure they have it. They have it by now. Absolutely. I'm sure it's an American. No doubt about that. Yeah, it's okay, Peter. No. Please, I'm not giving you a hard time. I don't know who that is. Yeah, this is unbelievable. This guy says, I've been inside Secret Service protected outdoor areas before. They had their own guys or state police on every rooftop in sight. This is odd. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. In Liberia, there were Secret Service snipers on top of the buildings. In Liberia. Police released the name and then retracted it. Really? Well, that's even more suspicious. Yep. Was it possible for the SS to have taken the shooter out? Alive? Menage, are you serious? What? Yeah, okay. So what do you want him to do? They want him to go, hey, could you stop shooting? We want to arrest you. He's on a rooftop with a rifle shooting. Trump went to a UFC event. I don't know about that. Yeah, Carson, he is a machine. Donald Trump, the original gangster, man. I mean, that's just awesome. Trump gets, the Secret Service are cowering, and he's standing up, raising his fist, shaking his fist after being shot in the head. Oh, his campaign said he's going to go to the UFC. That's funny. Ladies and gentlemen, we became within a whisper. 1 mile per hour of windage distance is what we came within of the assassination of the one man who is trying to ensure liberty in this world. Unbelievable. Craig says, where's Lee Harvey Oswald blaming him? Sounds like JFK inside. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Let's look at this again, folks. Can you believe that this was left unsecured? That's where the shooter was on that building. Well, the world would have been screwed, Arctic, not just America. The whole world would have been screwed. So let me tell you why this happened the way it did, if in fact it's a conspiracy. Him being on the rooftop, no security, wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered. Cheadle would have been the fall guy. She would have resigned, been promoted to somewhere else in the Biden regime in the next administration. Trump, if he'd been killed, that's all they would have been focused on. The mourning for Donald Trump. Yep. Mark Violet's Antifa member. Really? Let me look that up and see if that's coming up anywhere. Thank you for that. Boy, I'll tell you what. I don't know who, yeah. Major blue tick accounts are falsely claiming that Antifa extremist Mark Violet was the shooter of the Trump rally. The video shows Italian football fan Marco Volle. It was nothing to do with shooting. Right-wing accounts launch Mark Violet's Antifa conspiracy in light of Trump assassination. A dramatic turn of events. Right-wing social media accounts are circulating unverified claims the shooter they claim to be Mark Violet is linked to Antifa. Despite lacking credible evidence, this conspiracy is spreading rapidly in the wake of what officials are calling an assassination attempt. This moment will have profound historic political implications. Yeah, I don't know who the guy is. But yeah, there are Twitter accounts that are publishing this. Trump is now seen as a literal martyr to his followers, likely use this incident to galvanize his base, transform his campaign into crusade against perceived enemies. The base association shooter with Antifa will be exploited to vilify all those on the left, painting them as a collective threat. Well, the people on the left are a collective threat to liberty. That's a fact. Yep. Yep. Kansas City Defender. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. I don't know who that guy is, and yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see. Secret Service is totally useless. Yes, Rose, I agree. Well, now someone has set the cat among the pigeons. You guys are better than the Cape Flats. Yeah, no doubt about it. Menage a Trois is answering something that I discussed almost 40 minutes ago, telling me I'm projecting. What are you talking about? I'm projecting. Just asking. No, you wrote the question, and I'm not the only person that inferred your intention there to claim that I was saying that all DEI is the reason, everything the time something goes wrong is because of DEI. No, Trump didn't build the wall. That wasn't because of DEI. That was because of subterfuge and treason within the Republican caucus in the Congress. That's why that didn't happen. That had nothing to do with DEI. Not sure if the DS is useless or just part of it. Deep State. Hey, Jacques, how's it going there? Would you please give for those who's just... Oh, okay, Harley Quinn. Yeah, sure. So, Harley, I'm going to get... Okay, let me just do a quick summary and bring this back because a lot of people are just now waking up in South Africa, even though it's still pretty early. It's not even 5 o'clock in the morning there. But ladies and gentlemen, at about 6:15 this evening in Butler, Pennsylvania, western part of Pennsylvania, President Donald Trump was holding a campaign rally, when a shooter on a rooftop not cleared by the Secret Service fired multiple shots, hitting Donald Trump in the head. He was talking, he turned his head sideways, the bullet whizzed by, struck him in the ear. Trump reached up, felt the blood, looked at it. Additional shots were fired. Trump ducked for cover. CNN reported that Donald Trump had fallen at a rally, which was a lie. Joe Biden denied that it was an assassination attempt. CNN called it an incident, not an assassination attempt. The shooter with a rifle from approximately 150, 200 yards away fired 4 shots, not boom, 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 but boom, 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 like that. Donald Trump sought cover. Secret Service agents were nowhere to be found. I'll show you the tape in just a moment. Everyone just tuning in, you'll see the actual assassination attempt as it occurred today in Butler, Pennsylvania. And you'll see how long it took for Secret Service to respond, those on the stage, and then you'll see those off the stage finally get there. Trump is led off the stage. The Secret Service agents are cowering, especially the woman, leaning down, hiding like this, trying to get him off. They're trying to shield him, but Trump is standing upright and waving to the crowd with blood all over his face. All right, here you go. Oh, Secret Service. I thought you meant Deep State. Thank you for that, Jacques. All right, so for Harley Quinn and those just tuning in, this is 28 seconds. Donald Trump is speaking, and you will see, let me just get this up, and I'll get myself on the screen too. So there it is, Donald Trump. Let me get myself up there. You can see my reaction. Okay, so let me come over here, and there you go. Okay, you ready? Here we go.
And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Several shots. There are the other Secret Service agents finally getting up there. They get Trump up. People are looking over there where the shooter is. Wait, Trump says wait. Look at that. Look at that. The OG, man. The OG. Trump. I love it. Trump says wait. I got to wave to my people, man. I got to wave to my peeps. Oh, my gosh. Unbelievable. That's the assassination attempt tonight of President Donald Trump. Yep. Yeah, they were on a smoke break. That must be what it was. Yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. Unbelievable. All right, what we do know is this, folks. This was either the biggest cock-up in Secret Service history. No proper work done. Look, I have been on site where the President of the United States comes. Nobody enters that place. Nobody gets within rifle shot of that place. Every building is cleared. Every stairwell is cleared. You've watched enough Hollywood movies to know that they do that stuff. This is crazy. This is crazy. How does someone get on a roof? And by the way, there's eyewitnesses who already told the media she can't make them disappear, who told the media, they contacted the police. They told the police, said, look, there's a guy up on the roof. Look at him. He's got a rifle. Look, for 2 minutes. And the cops are like, hey, it's like watching, what's the John McClane movie there, in New York. And they're like, kid steals a Snickers bar. And John McClane goes, hey, you want to go to juvie for stealing a Snickers bar? He's like, hey, look around you, man. It's Christmas. The cops are into something. The cops were into something here. They were on a Zoll break. I think that's exactly what happened, folks. You see, when people Zoll, they roll the Zoll. And then people share the Zoll. Apparently, that's what the Secret Service and the Pennsylvania State Police and local authorities were doing tonight in Butler, Pennsylvania. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, they're on a smoke break. Arctic says, also important to mention one person standing around was shot and died in the scene. Well, not just that, Arctic, but 2 others are critically injured at this time. 148 yards. Well, I said 150, 200 yards. I don't know the distance. I've not measured it. From the photograph, I can't tell because of the scale. But you can see where the shooter was on this image, and you can see where Donald Trump was speaking at. Trump with the blue pin, the shooter, the red pin on top of a roof across the street. Now, you don't just get a hair up your ass and grab your deer rifle and drive to a rally and park your car 150 meters away carrying a rifle, go into a building up on top of that where the president's speaking 150 yards away with Secret Service all over the place and fire off half a dozen shots attempting to murder the president of the United States. Someone has to put the rifle there because he clearly couldn't have carried it in here or that incompetent. Folks, this is unbelievable. Yeah, way too many people pointed out the shooter before the shooting occurred. Before the shooting occurred, a couple minutes before the shooting occurred, people pointed out what was going on. Now, if there isn't collusion here on the part of the Secret Service, then there is incompetence of the highest order. Every one of the people involved in this who was in leadership position, including the mall guard who runs the Secret Service, Kimberly Cheadle, should be hauled before Congress tomorrow on a Sunday. Yep. Wow. Hey, Matt Canelli, welcome to you. Yeah. So, Arctic, it's not just one person was killed. One person who went to that rally was killed, but 2 others were also critically wounded. Yep. It is absolute. Hey, Nyanga, it's been donkey years, man. How you doing? Long time no see. It is absolute madness. This is insanity of the highest order. But it was all building to this, folks. It's been building to this for 6 years. Since Madonna said she wanted to blow him up in the White House, since what's her name, Kathy Griffin carried a bleeding head of Trump. They've been calling for this for years. They've been doing it. All the rhetoric coming out of the Biden campaign about how Trump is a threat to democracy, how he's going to start wars. Trump's the only president that has ended wars. Joe Biden's restarted a war in Afghanistan. He's fueled a proxy war in Ukraine. He's fueled a proxy war in Gaza. Donald Trump ended ISIS. Donald Trump ended Iraq. Donald Trump ended Afghanistan. He's not going to start wars. He ended wars. Oh, Donald Trump. Oh, Donald Trump. Those lies. They act like he's never been president before. The man was a president, and he has a track record. I imagine a lot of people outside his home tonight for candlelight vigil for the president. Chris said, Revelations 13:3, one of his heads seemed to have a mortal wound, but its mortal wound was healed, and the whole earth marveled as they followed the beast. Well, he's not a beast. Stop it. CNN says it's inappropriate for Trump to say fight after being shot. Are you serious? Are you serious? Wow. That's not a real news organization. It's 3 a.m. and I'm wide awake following this. Yeah, Nyanga, no doubt about that. It is absolute madness. But it was coming to this. I just came back from a recent trip to South Africa, and in private, everyone I spoke to at my meet and greets, people asked me this question when I was interviewed. I went everywhere I went, everyone I talked to, people were asking me about this, and I said, look, they've done everything to Donald Trump except try to kill him, try to assassinate him. Yep. First we lose to Ireland, and now, yeah, no, look, the loss to Ireland, yeah, I spent the rest of the day just out of it, reading, resting, not doing anything, ignoring everything under the planet. I was going to do some broadcasting. I decided not to do it because that Ireland loss is unbelievable. You could see it coming. Stupid decisions. Look, Sasha Feinberg, Ogumzulu, fantastic player, but a dumb decision to grab that ball. All he had to do was stand, block low from getting to it. It would have gone in touch. It would have been South Africa's ball. They would have had the line out, and they could have kicked it in touch. But no. They have nobody even trying in position to stop Kieran Frawley from that second drop goal. 2 drop goals in the last couple minutes, and it cost them the game. Now Ireland's going to crow about how they're the number 1 team in the world, and they're not. That game. Oh, geez. Don't get me started on that one. And Namibia lost to Portugal. Yep. CNN says it's not appropriate for Trump to say fight after being shot. Are you serious? Are you serious? Wow. Representative Dan Moiser was in the front row with other Republicans, elected officials, and candidates when the shots rang out. It was pretty clear after the first pop it was gunfire, he told the Associated Press. My eyes were glued on Trump. Just a lot of mayhem. It's terrible, terrible tragedy, terrible shame. He said he'd been able to meet Trump earlier in the evening. He said the former president was loose and cool and joking with him. Congressman said he appreciated the outpouring texts and calls from Republican and Democratic colleagues, including Democratic Governor Josh Shapiro, checking on him, but still felt angry and even a little helpless about the situation. The level of lack of civility and hostility, maybe this will send a ringing signal to all those to cool it. I doubt it. They'll step it up. They will step it up. The FBI says they will be the lead agency, of course, because the Secret Service cocked this thing up. The Bureau says to be working with Secret Service and local law enforcement, so you can guarantee with Merrick Garland in charge, there'll be another cover-up. We'll have another fake January 6th commission investigating the situation and just probably claiming it was a Trump supporter that did it for sympathy. Yep. Garrett says, check Aaron's Fun Sound, Aaron's Throats in Washington. Yeah, that's one reason why I was taking easy today. I'm spending the day with them tomorrow in Maryland. Yep. Spending the day with them tomorrow in Maryland. Yep. Unbelievable. I don't know what to tell you guys. This is just crazy beyond belief. It's just crazy beyond belief. This is the kind of crap that just really takes the cake. Yep. Unbelievable. Yep. So there you have it, folks. That's what's happening at this hour. It is crazy. The insanity of liberal media and Hollywood has scrambled a lot of people's brains in this country for sure. No doubt, because people are stupid and fall for it. In X we trust. Screw the FBI, says Arctic. Nyanga needs independent investigation organization that have the credibility to infiltrate foreign governments. And yeah, well, I don't know who's behind this. There's going to be a lot of conspiracy theories that come out of this. By the way, there'll be people who steal my content and they'll clip it and they'll say, oh, he said this. No, no, no. I'm making no claims at this hour. I'm making no claims at the hour. The only thing I'm pointing out is my analysis of the lack of security, the inappropriate level of security, and the complete failure of the Secret Service. That's my analysis. I'm not claiming that Trump's behind us. I'm not claiming that Biden's behind us. I'm not claiming that Kathy Griffin's behind us. I'm not claiming that this is a consequence of Antifa or the political rhetoric. I'm not claiming any of that. Not claiming any of that. And I never claimed any of that during this broadcast. What I have done is say that people are going to say that. People are going to say that. What I have said is this is the most incompetent level of security possible for a president of the United States. The head of Secret Service diversity hire was previously head of security at Pepsi. Apparently that qualified. Exactly, Daniel. I already said that, and I've been roasted for pointing out that she was a DEI hire, and her most important job was ensuring that nobody stole Cheetos and protected the Lay's chips from being crushed during shipping. Yeah, that's what she was doing before. Yep. Yeah, people say he endorsed her, but I didn't see Elon say that. Let me go back and see if I can't find that, what Elon had to say about that, if he in fact did endorse Trump. So let me go to Elon. Let's see what he's got to say, because I'm sure he's got a lot to say right now. Elon Musk trending. Okay. Oh, here it is. I fully endorse Trump and hope his rapid recovery. 65 million views. Boy, I wish I was Elon Musk. He got 65 million views on that. Wow. That's incredible. There you go. 4 hours ago he said that. So that was at 6:54. That was just a half hour after it happened. Wow. Okay, I didn't see that. Now I've seen it. Yeah, Trump, what can you say, man? What incredible stuff. A photo of Secret Service approaching the shooter on the roof has been confirmed. Confirms the Secret Service let a man pull up on a roof with a rifle and did nothing. Elon Musk is calling for the resignation of all Secret Service leaders, as am I. As am I. Yep. Yep. Wow. So Reid Hoffman, the founder of LinkedIn, being called out by Elon Musk as well. How the hell was such an obvious line of sight not secured? Exactly. Exactly. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Elon Musk has announced he'll fully endorse President Trump and hope for his rapid recovery after shots fired during Trump's rally. First off, ladies and gentlemen, we saw this already. We saw already where Trump got a few million new voters when the bogus convictions came for 34 criminal counts for non-existent crime. Millions of Americans said, that's enough of this garbage. I'm voting for Donald Trump. And now they've attempted to murder him. Donald Trump is going to run away with this election. Gareth says, is this Gareth in New Zealand? Shocked and deeply saddened by what happened to the president. My thoughts and prayers are with the president and his people. Well, my thoughts and prayers are with the world. With the world. We almost lost him. Yep. It's even worth wondering if Biden will be nominated at this point, regardless. Yeah, it doesn't matter who the... Exactly. You make a very good point here. Yes, Gareth says, hello, my friend. It's been a while. I'm glad to see you're okay, Gareth. I thought I lost my audience in New Zealand entirely. Yeah, ever since Jacinda Ardern has disappeared, I've seemed to have lost my audience in New Zealand. Yep. Yep. Eric Bowling says, you're not alone, my friend, in endorsing Trump. Wow. Extreme incompetence, or was it deliberate? Either way, the Secret Service leadership must resign. Yep, 100%. Yep. Yep, unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen, at this hour. Yep. Unbelievable. Wow. Tucker Carlson got something to say. Oh, he just has a picture here. So here's some of the threats on Donald Trump that have been made by the left over the years.
I said, no. I said, if we were in high school, I'd take you behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
Too many see the
Maxine
protest
Waters
as the problem. Please, show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
Go to the Hill today. get up in the face of some Congress people.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
These are leftist members of Congress, Democrats, the President of the United States, calling for violence and getting away with it repeatedly.
Running away from Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
They go low, we kick.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Ayanna Pressley calling for violence in the streets in the summer of 2020, still serving in Congress.
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump. And
what? Yeah, that was said by a Democrat.
That's a fact.
Yep, they've been inciting violence against Trump for years, and now they've gotten away with it. Oh, now somebody's showing a video saying that the Secret Service sniper was watching the shooter and didn't shoot the person. Wow. Let's see this.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a...
Oh my goodness, folks. This is a very revealing. Now, this can be very misleading. Let's be honest, can be very misleading, but this is Trump, and someone's got it on their phone. They took the image, and you can see the Secret Service shooter on the barn behind Trump, and he's pointing in the direction where the gunfire comes from before the shots ring out. Now, this can be taken out of context. We need full context. Let's say that. But this on its own is very disconcerting. Ready? Watch this. You see the roof there behind the flags? There's a sniper up there. And there's the president on stage before the shooting. This is 14 seconds long. Let's watch what happens.
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Did you see that? The shot, and then the sniper backed away after the shot was fired. Additional shots were fired at the president. Let's go back and see that again. Wow, let's watch that. I'm going to go frame by frame here. This is the moment when the shooting occurs. Watch this. Watch the sniper up there. Look, he looks up. He looks out. He backs away. He pulls his gun back. And Trump has just been shot. See Trump right there? He's just been shot. And the sniper is retreating. Then he comes back up. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, Trump was shot in the ear. We don't know if he was hit elsewhere. We don't know if he's hit elsewhere. Wow. It's not a commercial. It's on Twitter. Wow. The spotter was crawling, laying down. The spotter was laying down. I don't understand what that was all about. That whole thing is a cock up here. Let's watch the thing in real time again. Let's watch it in real time again. You ready for this?
And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old, and if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Wow. Unbelievable, folks. That's I got to get that video. Let me try to download that before that disappears off the internet. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Here I was expecting to get some sleep tonight, and I'm busy covering the attempted assassination of the President of the United States, a man who will coast to victory in November. Wow. Now I am saving them. Yes, everyone I can find on this sort of thing. That's crazy. Yep. My goodness. Yes, remember this gem from Harry Sisson just on July 1st. Harry Sisson, the paid Democratic operative, little lunatic Nancy boy on Twitter, says, according to the Supreme Court, Biden could now send SEAL Team 6 to take all of them out. He could send the military to take out Trump. He has immunity for official acts. Obviously, he was being sarcastic, but this lunatic loser, 7.2 million views. Why do idiots like this get 7.2 million views and I can't even get 2,000 people on Twitter? Wow. Yeah, this is the kind of nonsense that goes on. Harry Sisson. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Danny Haipong, the leftist American white guy using a Vietnamese name, says Trump assassination attempt is another sign of a crumbling empire. Yeah, so there's the left trying to turn their actions into something to call the country's. Yeah, he's a Democratic troll. You're correct. I don't know. He wasn't going to announce the VP. VP will be announced at the convention. Yeah, and hopefully it won't be J.D. Vance. Hopefully it won't be Kristi Noem. Yeah, and hopefully it won't be Byron Donalds. Well, Robert Kennedy's announced his running mate. It's Nicole Shanahan. Surprise, surprise. We knew that was coming. Oh, here we go. They're already claiming a stage. Ready for this?
That shit was more staged than a Tyler Perry production of Medea Runs for President. I lived in Harlem long enough to know that gunshots do not sound like making popcorn on the stove.
This is an idiot. I've been in combat. I've also been shot out in the streets in the civilian world, and that's exactly what gunshot sounds like from a distance. Trump went from the next Andrew Jackson to the next Teddy Roosevelt, and he also got shot giving a speech, then got back up and continued. Well, sure, they'll try to attack the Second Amendment, but that isn't going to fly. That isn't going to fly. How about Kathy Griffin on the Trump head? Yeah, no, I already covered that, Ants. You guys are just coming into this now. Coming in late. Rate the performance of Carl Dixon in the win. I think Carl Dixon did a great job in this Ireland game. Molly Hemingway says, oh, good. The Biden FBI will investigate the assassination attempt. We can all take comfort in that. Agreed. Yep. Oh. Wow. James O'Keefe claims to have the photograph of the face of the guy who tried to kill Trump. Wow. That's pretty sick looking. I'm not going to show that. Not going to show that on air. It's gruesome. That's not something that you want to look for. You can look it look for it on Twitter. James O'Keefe. Yep. Eyewitnesses telling us what happened. People calling for the resignation of Kim Cheadle tonight. Wow. Wow. A field director for Congressman Benny Thompson, who headed the January 6th Commission, recently proposed legislation to remove Trump's Secret Service detail. I don't condone violence, but please get someone shooting lessons next time you don't miss. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable. Now the conspiracy stuff has already started. Yep. So the leftists on the trolls on Twitter are already trying to claim that that the stuff is doctored. Yep. Wow. Carl Brown says there is a BBC video showing eyewitness. Yeah, I've already covered that. We played the audio on that a while ago. Yep. And he told the police for a couple minutes about it. Renette Bernardo says, hi, I'm not the only one that cannot sleep. No, people have been up for about an hour and a half listening to me. News, attempted Trump assassination attempt. Suspected, it's not suspect. Good God. Australian news. Yeah, Chris, your media is lost there too. What news to wake up to, Mary? Yeah, indeed it is news to wake up to. It's pretty darn crazy, to say the least. Yep. Pretty crazy, to say the least. Unbelievable, folks. Yeah, at this hour, Trump is alive and well. The Republican convention begins on Monday, and I'll be covering it. Yep. Yes, the police did ignore it. That was his testimony. He wasn't the only person that gave that testimony. Multiple witnesses said the same thing. Also, the shooting occurred about 150 yards away from where the president was speaking at, on a rooftop with direct line of sight. Obviously, a building that was either intentionally left as it was or it was unguarded. This reminds me of The Package. The Package, a great movie back in the 1980s. Yep, with Tommy Lee Jones and what's his name there? Oh gosh, the guy who played Lex Luthor. Anyway, in the Superman movies. Yeah, that was fantastic. Great movie in which the NCO was chasing the guy down. It was all set up, an inside job, and they were trying to kill the Russian president. Yeah, and they put the gun in place, let the assassin get in place, and he foiled it. Yep. Now, there's no way that this happens if we have a competent Secret Service. Either that... Allison will have concerns about 2 more people who are in critical condition tonight after also having been shot. We don't know their condition. And all kinds of rumors floating around. Gene Hackman. Thank you, Courtney. Gene Hackman. That's who I was thinking of. Gene Hackman and Tommy Lee Jones did a movie in the 1980s called The Package. It was unbelievably good. It's not a very well-known movie. Really, really good movie in which Gene Hackman plays an NCO, part of a security detail in the Berlin Brigade, and then he has to escort supposedly a soldier back to the States. He's a former soldier, as an operative for the Secret Service, something like that, and takes him back, and he escapes from him, and then he hunts him down with a neo-Nazi organization in Chicago. And the neo-Nazis are set up to be the patsies, and it's actually the Secret Service that is trying to take out the Russian president. And Tommy Lee Jones is all part of that. And then Gene Hackman, he foils the attempt. It was an incredible movie. I really love it. I watched it a few times. Yeah. Yeah, no, Allison, 2 people also in critical condition this evening after having been shot at that event. Now, the other thing coming out is, I think Arctic or somebody said a short while ago that Donald Trump apparently has a hole in his jacket, so he was hit more than once, if that's true. We'll have to wait for information on that. But we do know he was shot in the head. He was wounded in his ear, and I don't know about the other shot. It seems quite plausible that he was hit more than once. Trump immediately ducked and covered. The legacy media lied instantly. CNN coming out with reports saying that Trump fell at a rally in Pennsylvania when they knew it was an assassination attempt. Just unbelievable. I mean, do they really think that people are this stupid? I mean, I'm showing you footage of things that people have taken from right there during the event, and very questionable things. So now you understand why when I go to events, I am looking at rooftops, I'm looking at police vehicles, I'm looking at barriers, I'm looking at the crowd, I'm watching the crowd, watching the dynamics of the crowd, watching the behavior of law enforcement because of events like this. This is what I do every time I go to a place like this. When I was at the BRICS Summit, I was checking the security measures getting into the building, checking security measures inside the building, keeping an eye on the people inside the building, even while I was interviewing people and being interviewed by others. Same thing at the multi-party charter, which didn't really have much in the way of security. And so it's the sort of thing I do when I go to these events. So I'm not just your average bear. I'm not just your average journalist or non-traditional journalist. I'm actually a guy that's looking out for everything. Yeah, Christopher Ray, get on right on top of that. Sorry about all the innocent people who are hurt. World has gone crazy. Trump was very lucky to be alive. He is very lucky to be alive. No thanks to the Secret Service who failed miserably at their job. Democrats celebrated when a bird landed on Bernie Sanders' podium in 2016, but today's events are way more badass. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Way more badass. Yeah, unbelievable, folks. Oh, did you hear this lunatic? This was crazy. I mean, this was on shortly afterwards. I mean, it's almost not. This is a person obviously looking for attention, but this sort of stuff we get from the left.
I just found out about this shit. It just happened. I haven't even had a second to process.
Yeah, this lunatic can't process anything. She can't even bleach her hair properly.
You're telling me somebody finally had the balls to bring a pew-pew.
Yeah, this is the sort of idiocy and lunacy that exists in this world.
I need this! We were a second away! We were a centimeter away from...
Yeah, this is the insanity. These people are sick and twisted. A man who ended 3 conflicts and saved countless lives. A man who stopped the criminal invasion of this country, by and large. A man who fought for minorities in this country. A man who repatriated trillions of dollars of wealth being parked overseas by corrupt corporations. A man who lowered the federal corporate tax rate to a reasonable level, but not low enough. A man who has mean tweets, and this is what they're upset about. No, Nyanga, you can't believe it. Actually, Nyanga, my entire trip to South Africa, ask people who spoke to me privately. I didn't say this publicly. I did say it when I was at the Reformation site at Rondebosch, because that wasn't broadcast. I did tell people they've done everything except try to assassinate him, and that's coming. That's coming. She was 1 centimeter away from the left being run over in civil conflict. Yeah. Yeah. It's absolutely crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, no. So here's Chucky Schumer says, I'm horrified what happened at the Trump rally and relieved President Trump is safe. Political violence is no place in our country. Yeah, but you're the guy that was ramping up political violence when you sent violent protesters with your political language to the houses of Supreme Court justices. Yeah. Oh, Cat Turd speaking. He says, going to sleep. It's a miracle Trump survived. It is a miracle Trump survived. Yep. Yep. Unbelievable. Earlier this week, Speaker Nancy Pelosi said he cannot be president. He must be stopped. This is not a normal election. Trump must be stopped. Those are the words of Nancy Pelosi this week. Yep. Yep. Colorado State Representative Demon Rat, Stephen Woodrow, said the last thing America needed was sympathy for the devil, but here we are. Wow. I hope you get voted out. Wow. It's another one celebrating Trump shooting. And this is all on TikTok. It's allowed by the Chinese to put this stuff on there, celebrating it. Wow. Who's this?
I'm fucking seriously done.
Who's this?
The Supreme Court.
Oh, anyway, I don't know what she's going to say. Some idiot I've never even heard of. Looks like a retard. Yep. Yep. Mike Johnson says that the House will fully investigate the events today. Yeah, well, I don't have much hope on the House. Heads are currently rolling at Secret Service internal investigation teams from DHS inbound, intent on investigating United States Secret Service, says James O'Keefe. James O'Keefe has inside information from people. The Secret Service is in trouble here. Yep. Wow. Unbelievable. How does someone get in a building unidentified with a rifle, make it to the rooftop 150 yards from the President of the United States in broad daylight, and then fire off half a dozen shots at the President before anybody reacts? Yep. Yep. Menage a trois, there's conspiracy theorists on the right side who are supposedly putting up links to the name of someone they claim is the conspiracy, is the shooter. The image is not the shooter, and so it's being debunked, as it probably should be. Reported police gave the name of the shooter, then retracted it. To my knowledge, the name has not been released. We have seen photographs because people on the scene took photographs. Yeah, but the police have released nothing at this hour. Democrats only talking before returning the White House as the Trump is a threat to democracy. Now they can't use that line. No more ideas. Exactly. Exactly, Courtney. Exactly. That was their line. Their whole line was he's a threat to democracy. Well, clearly he's not a threat to democracy. The threat is to him. Daniel says McKinley JFK also died 62 years apart. 62 years since JFK assassination would be next year. Yep. People also post on social media for likes and scream because they want to be influencers. So meaningless. So much hatred being spread. Something very wrong with the values people. Agreed 100% there, Allison Johnson. That's why I don't lose sleep. I only have 1,700 people follow me on Twitter because it's a cesspool. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Just a week ago, Harry Sisson called for the assassination of the president. Today, the president was shot by radical leftists. Liberals like Harry and others should be immediately investigated by the Secret Service. Should have been investigated a week ago. It has nothing to do with this, but should still be investigated. So someone took a... these are the trending topics on this. They missed 36,000 posts. Stage, 93,000 posts. How do you miss 6,300 posts? BB gun, 5,400. Molly Hemingway sharing this with us. Unbelievable, folks. Yep, Molly Hemingway. Wow. She's reporting on that. Well done on her part. A bullet meant for Trump's head narrowly missed and struck a person sitting near him at the rally. Trump was rushed off. The shooter was shot dead. Wow. Man, oh man. This is unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. And now we find out from Elon Musk that there have been 2 attempts on his life in the last 6 months. 2 people on separate occasions tried to kill him in the past 8 months. They were arrested with guns 20 minutes drive from Tesla headquarters in Texas. So they're trying to kill Elon Musk too. Wow. Wow. Folks, I don't know what to say. Most dangerous violent rhetoric against Trump comes from, this is from Cat Turd, The View, Morning Joe, Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, the Democratic Party, Joe Biden, Nancy Pelosi, CNN, who else? MSNBC, Rob Reiner, Stephen King, Mark Hamill, Rachel Maddow, George Clooney, The Lincoln Project, Robert De Niro, and many others. They're out of control. Yep, they are. And they have been for a long time. James Wood says, injured, he was shot in the head after a failed assassination attempt. An American was murdered, others critically wounded. You disgusting leftist assholes. Yeah, he's talking about Newsweek. Newsweek says, MAGA responds with outrage after Donald Trump injured at Pennsylvania rally. No, Donald Trump, they tried to murder him. It was an assassination attempt. He was shot in the head. Thank you, James Woods, for the clarity. I haven't had time to take to Twitter because that's exactly what I say. Don't know much about your Secret Service, but why did it take so long to react? There was a few seconds. There was 5 seconds. You're not mistaken, Marchant. No, because it's intentional. When Reagan was shot, Secret Service immediately lunged in front of the president to protect him, and someone dove at the shooter. And only James Brady was also shot as a consequence. That's our Secret Service. This is garbage. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been on the ground where the President of the United States has walked the ground, shaking my hand. The President of the United States shaking my hand. And there's a process to even be that close to the president. Every building, every egress, every ingress site, anywhere within distance, with firearms distance, is checked. Every spot on the route, every trash can, every barrel, it's all done. How does a man get on a building with a white roof, 150 yards from the president with a rifle, crawl around on the roof for several minutes, spotted by onlookers who tell the police, there's a man on the roof, look up there, there's a man on the roof with a gun, for 2 minutes, and they take no action? How is it that the sniper is aiming his rifle in that general direction? I don't know if he's actually pointing at the sniper, but he's in that general direction because we know that's where the bullet came from, and does not see the person, does not engage. A shot is fired, he ducks back. You're a sniper. You don't duck back. You pull the trigger. Yes, I know, John Hinckley was released last year. Yeah, no, this is either incompetence or it's all intentional. There's no in between. There's no, well, we did our best. No. There's no, well, the Secret Service were on the scene. No. This is either incompetence of the highest order or it's intentional. It took 5 seconds for them to respond. I'm going to play the video again, folks. I'm going to play the video again. You guys ready? Here we go. We're going to play the video one more time here of Donald Trump, the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. And you're going to watch, it's a full nearly 5 seconds before the Secret Service respond. Donald Trump is shot in the ear, in the head. And now apparently we're finding out that his jacket also has a hole in it, which means he probably took another bullet in the vest. Trump reaches to his ear, sees the blood. Here's another shot, ducks and covers. CNN lies and calls it he fell to the ground. Newsweek lies about it. So you watch. This is not the Secret Service in action. This is either a setup or incompetence of the highest order. Whatever the case is, people should be in prison for these failures tonight. Here we go. Ready? Trump is talking, and the shot rings out and hits him in the head.
Holden, if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Okay. You see how long it was before they engaged? Okay, so let's see when the shots are. I'm gonna piece this up and we'll do the actual timing.
Something that said, take a look at what happened.
Okay, first shot, 4 seconds in. 7 seconds, almost 4 seconds before they got there. Wow. Wow. Unbelievable. Marchand says, it looks like we're going to say, I've been telling people that for a long time. All the crap, all the woke nonsense, all the stupidity, all the leftist garbage in South Africa has come to our shores. I have been saying that for years. Ever since I started doing this program, I can see it coming. Fees must fall. Loan forgiveness. Systemic racism. Systemic racism. It's unbelievable. Drunken Yoda says Trump already released a statement and the only wound he spoke of was his ear. That's correct, Drunken Yoda. It's the only wound he spoke of. You are correct. But that was 5 hours ago when he released that statement. Yep. He might not even known that he'd been taking one in the vest. Yep. Unbelievable. Mary says, watch all religious nuts come out in the woodwork talking about the Antichrist. Yep. Yep, you're right about that. Martha's Vineyard will be packed the next few days. Why is that? What's going on in Martha's Vineyard? Oh, I know a lot about our Secret Service, Marchand. I've worked with the Secret Service. I know a lot about them. Of course the convention's still on, Daniel, and Trump will be there. Apparently we need to fire Secret Service and hire G4S. I'm going to recommend the Republican National Committee that they fire the Secret Service and hire G4S. G4S is obviously much more effective at keeping people out of your property than they are at keeping shooters from assassinating the President of the United States. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. This is a crazy situation. For those just tuning in, as the audience is growing here at this hour, as we're now at 5:30 in the morning in South Africa, at about 5 hours and 10 minutes ago in Butler, Pennsylvania, in the western part of Pennsylvania, approximately 3 hours west of my current location, Donald Trump was holding a rally, the same place where over 50,000 people showed up at his rally in 2020. Donald Trump was holding a rally when someone on a rooftop 150 yards away across the street on a white rooftop wearing colored camouflage, tan-looking clothing, crawled around a roof with a rifle. Spectators on the street below saw him, called to the police, pointed him out for over 2 minutes. The police took no action, and the shooter then fired multiple shots at the President of the United States. As you can see when I played the video, it was at least 3 seconds plus, nearly 4 seconds before Secret Service agents responded. Trump was shot in the head, and it caught him in the ear. He reached up, saw the blood. Another shot was fired. He ducked to seek cover, and then finally Secret Service agents pounced on him. The rest of the Secret Service agents took several more seconds before they got to the stage. They attempted to lead Trump off the stage. In the meantime, we have another video from another person present who spotted the sniper on the rooftop behind Trump, who had his rifle aimed the direction of where that building was on the opposite side of the street. That sniper failed to shoot and engage the target over there. And when that target fired at Trump, the sniper backed away and pulled down his rifle and then finally had to reset before he engaged. Why was this happening? All kinds of questions going on here. Yeah, the FSB. That's funny. Is the convention still going? Yes, the convention is still going. Absolutely. So that's what's happened at this hour. Donald Trump was taken to the hospital. Initially, I heard that there had been a shooting, and I didn't hear that Trump had been wounded. Then I saw the photograph and saw that Trump had been shot in the head. Yep, I wasn't sure if it was Trump's blood or someone else's, but then I saw the shooting and saw that it was, in fact, Trump's blood. Trump went to the hospital. He's been released. One person at the rally was murdered or killed on scene. 2 others are critically wounded and were in hospital last we heard. That's how many of these leaders call Trump former president, signal of disrespect. The only one who called him President Trump was Keir Starmer. Well, I call him President Trump. Yep. Yeah, well, Keir Starmer, the labor leader. Shocking. Yep, surprised he's doing that. Yeah, no, this is either the biggest cock-up in Secret Service history or it's all intentional. There will be 1,000 conspiracy theories come out about this tomorrow. People make all kinds of outlandish claims. They'll claim Biden's behind it. They'll claim Antifa's behind it. They'll claim that Trump is behind it. They'll make all kinds of claims, none of which you have any information on. All we know for certain at this hour is that the shooter who attempted to assassinate President Donald John Trump in Butler County, Pennsylvania, was eventually shot by the Secret Service today. One other rally attender is dead as a consequence of wounds. 2 are in critical condition at this hour. And the Republican National Convention begins Monday in Milwaukee. Trump will be present. Yep. So that's what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, at this hour. Be sure to hit the like button if you haven't done it already. Would appreciate that. This is absolute insanity. Let me try to get some updates on what the news is, if any more stories have come out since we went live over an hour and a half ago. This is just crazy. I had no idea this is what my evening was going to look like. This is just insane. Trump injured at shooting, rally shooting. No, it was an attempted assassination. I'm looking here now at CNN Politics page, and not one word about an assassination. Biden says he's grateful Trump is safe. Eyewitness describes scene as shooting. Full list expected speakers convention. Trump transformed. Yet, nope. Not a single thing. Let's go back to CNN main page, get off their politics page, and see if they say assassination. It is being investigated as an attempted assassination, but that's it. Wow. Wow, this is insanity, folks. Absolute insanity. Let's go to Google and see what the headlines are when it comes to this. At this hour, Associated Press, CNN, full coverage. Here we go. NBC News, amid shooting at Donald Trump rally, fears of political violence reach new heights. Well, I don't think they get any higher than that, trying to murder the president. The Guardian, what we know about the shooting. Let's see what they say. The Boston Globe, what we know about the rally where Trump was injured. Trump was shot. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Trump should get some bookies to defend him. Yep. Wow. Unbelievable.
For those of you just tuning in, we want to play for you the moment when Secret Service agents rushed former President Trump off the stage. We want to caution you that we don't know exactly who said what's captioned on the screen or...
Lester Holt, useless gas bag from MSNBC. Concerns about the rising prevalence of violence threats and growing list of violent attacks and politicians were punctuated when a gunman killed at least one person in what is being investigated as an attempted assassination of President Trump. In a country where a great many Americans do not believe their democracy is healthy or particularly functional, and where a large majority of Americans believe that domestic political opposition is out to destroy that democracy, this is the worst sort of event that can happen in that environment. Ian Bremmer. Oh, Ian Bremmer, that guy's useless. I don't know why he's even considered a political scientist. President of the Eurasia Group. It's a fictional group that he just puts his name on. Yep. Yeah, he's deeply worried that it presages much more political violence and instability to come. Yeah, Chicago professor Robert Pape, director of the Chicago Project of Security and Threats, said that a national survey that he helped conduct in June found 10% of American adults, a third of whom own guns, agreed that the use of force is justified to prevent Trump from becoming president. We also need to worry about threats and retribution to President Biden, please. Survey shows 7% of American adults support force to restore Trump to the presidency, half of whom own guns. Please, give me a break. These people are just inflaming things. Wow. So instead of talking about Trump, the assassination, they try to attack Americans. Trump was speaking at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania at 6:13 p.m. when shots rang out. He appeared to have been struck by something in the area of his right ear as he was speaking. Video showed him quickly clutching his ear, then ducking down to the ground as security agents and others leaped to his aid. One spectator killed, 2 others critically injured. Trump stood up with blood on the side of his face and appeared to be saying, "Fight, fight," while pumping his fist. Trump was then quickly escorted from stage into his vehicle. The rally, active crime scene. Trump's team and Secret Service confirmed that he was fine, checked at a local medical facility. Trump later posted on Truth Social that he was hit by a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. Yeah, he was also hit by shards of glass. I don't know what glass hit him. Butler County District Attorney confirmed the suspected shooter and 1 rally attendee were dead. 2 people critically injured. Shooting investigated as attempted assassination. Secret Service shared more details on the shooter's position and confirmed the shooter was killed by the Secret Service. The president, Joe Biden, said everybody must condemn political violence. Now, that's the Guardian, the leftist Guardian, actually reporting facts. There you go. That's well done by the Guardian. The left is demonically possessed. They are. Graham says, I believe you're from the same state. Same state as whom? I'm living in Pennsylvania. I'm not from here. Living in Pennsylvania. So, what's this? The Globe, Boston Globe makes you got to pay to read it. Give me a break. So not a lot of coverage on the mainstream media at this hour. Let's see if they got fact checks on this. They probably have fact checks. CBS News, Politico, he just won the election. That's what I said. Trump has won the election. This has done it. Yep. Witness says he saw gunmen minutes before shots were fired. We already covered that. Yep. What we know about the suspected rally shooter. This is from News Nation now. What do they know? Interesting. News Nation. I don't think they know anything. Two officials who spoke to the Associated Press in condition of anonymity discussed the investigation, said the shooter was not an attendee of the event. They recovered an AR-style rifle at the scene. A video posted on social media and geolocated by IP shows the body of a person wearing gray camouflage lying motionless on the roof of a building at AGR International Manufacturing Plant north of Butler Farm Show Grounds. The roof where the person was less than 150 meters, 164 yards from where Trump was speaking, a distance from which a decent marksman could reasonably hit a human-sized target. For reference, 150 meters is the distance at which U.S. Army recruits must hit the scaled-down human-sized silhouette with their M16. I know, I've done it. Yep. Officials said the shooter was engaged by members of U.S. Secret Service counter-assault team and killed. Witnesses told media outlets they saw the suspected shooter on the roof outside the rally. Easton Smith, who was outside the security perimeter, said he saw the man climbing up the roof of a nearby building. Didn't know what he was doing, trying to alert cops and police. Was a guy crawling on the roof. Then we saw the rifle slung over his shoulder. After that, a couple shots were fired. Witness named Greg Smith told NBC News that the suspected shooter crawled to the top of the building just outside the event. He pointed the gunman out to police. I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off stage? Next thing you know, 5 shots rang out. Wow. Smith was outside the rally listening. He saw the gunman around 5 minutes into Trump's speech. Noticed the guy bear crawling up the roof and building beside us 50 feet away. He had a rifle. We could clearly see the rifle. We're pointing at him. The police are down here running around the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police did not know what was going on. Why is there not Secret Service on all these roofs, he asked. Yep, that's exactly right. Yep, so there you go. That's what's going on here. Unbelievable. So Politico, he just won the election. Hill Republicans predict Trump rally will ease the path to the White House. Congressional Republicans already believe Trump was headed back to the White House. Some of them think Saturday night rally shooting has made his path even easier. President Trump survives this attack. He just won the election, said Representative Derek Van Orden, Republican of Wisconsin. Other Republicans quickly went on offense after the shocking attack at the Trump rally. Wouldn't quite go that far, but many predicted the shooting would solidify support for the former president and fire up the base for November. This will energize the base more than anything, and he, with his fist in the air, he didn't want to leave. He's yelling, fight, fight, fight. That'll be the slogan, referring to photos and videos of Trump that quickly circulated online. The shooting, which several GOP lawmakers immediately labeled an assassination attempt, of course it was that. What do you think it was? Just he just wanted to graze Trump and wound him to say hi? It was an assassination attempt, you morons. Is sending shockwaves in an already tumultuous election. Democrats have been fighting over Biden's electability. Were only united in their criticism of Trump for the past 2 weeks. Quickly silenced their attacks on the former president. Republicans who had stayed quiet amid Democratic brawling were quick to blame the opposing party's rhetoric for the attack. Wow. Some congressional Republicans, like Representative Mike Collins of Georgia, spread unfounded conspiracy theories that Biden had sent the orders for the shooting, referencing Biden's furtive remarks that Democrats need to put Trump in a bullseye. And Senator Mike Lee, in a joint statement with Trump's former national security advisor, said Biden should immediately order prosecutors to drop federal charges against Trump as part of an effort to take the political temperature down. Wow. The American people deserve to know the truth. We will have Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle and other appropriate officials from DHS and the FBI appear before a hearing before our committee ASAP, said Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Man, oh man, oh man. Crazy stuff. Deepest sympathies to families of the deceased and injured, but thank goodness Trump has survived. America has a problem. We've had a problem since Barack Obama became president. A123 Alpha says, I'm from South Africa. Hope Trump will be okay. Well, I think we all hope that, A123. Thank you for joining us here this evening. Yep, I expect more gun sales, bullion rise sharply, prepping as well. Yep, it's all Jan von Riebeck's fault. I don't think Jan had anything to do with this. Yep. Wow, an iconic image, says the National Review. And that's exactly what it'll be. That is a campaign poster right there, folks. Yep. Yep, that's going to do it right there. Come on. Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania after getting shot. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I told people in private when I was in South Africa, the only thing that they haven't done to Trump is attempt to kill him. And now they've done it. Now they've attempted to kill him. It was just a matter of time. I'm surprised that it took them this long to try this. Yep. Jeffrey Bellar says, I'm not quite sure how to say this at National Review. Now, this is a conservative site, very conservative. So I'll just put it out. Donald Trump has never been more authentically admirable than the moment someone came within an inch of blowing his head off on national television. I'd grimly chuckle about that irony. It took this, if I weren't so utterly relieved and utterly terrified of what we all just narrowly avoided. I don't need to explain what has just happened to you. We'll be talking about it for a long time to come. The assassination attempt on Trump is of such enormity. A man is dead, others are injured, that we will be dealing with these ramifications for months, if not years. It is frankly a miracle that Trump survived. A bullet grazed him, taking a piece of his right ear with it, and questions will immediately turn to how on earth the Secret Service could have allowed this to happen. You must watch all 4.5 minutes of this interview. Now, okay. But for now, I want to offer a prayer for the dead and the wounded, a sigh of relief that we narrowly avoided catastrophe that would have carried us full scale into the grotesque replay of the worst of 1968, and a genuinely heartfelt tip of the cap to Donald Trump, a man who actually rose to a truly terrible moment. 8 to 10 shots ring out. Trump feels the upper lobe of his right ear get torn away by a bullet. Secret Service rushes as he gets down. Chaos. There's terror. The immediate need is to get the former president already wounded and bleeding off stage. Then Trump says, wait! And Trump reaches up over their protective shield to throw a set of fierce, proud fist pumps in the air, blood streaking down the side of his face on his arms. But he wants you to know he's unbowed, unintimidated. You come at the dawn, you best not miss. The photographs are already iconic from multiple angles. Trump and his bloody fist raised in proud defiance of the Reaper and anyone else crazy enough to try to take him down is going to become one of the most famous photographs in modern American political history. If you're uncomfortable with that, you best start adjusting to it. I myself was thrilled. I loved it, the absolute sheer unbreakable moxie of it. If you can understand why that is exactly what every normal American was hoping to see in that moment, then you probably couldn't grasp why George W. Bush electrified a nation by standing on a pile of rubble with a bullhorn and promising the United States would come calling in soon. I make no secret of my opinion of Trump. It doesn't matter. This was, in a way, that even skeptics must concede reflects upon something in his core character, because you can't plan on getting your ear shot off arguably the finest moment in his entire life to date. He probably won the election tonight. Jeffrey Ballar. Yep, 100%. Wow. This was unbelievable. Moxie. That's what it is. Donald Trump, presidential, courageous. That's what he was tonight. Absolutely courageous, ladies and gentlemen. He's won the election. It's over. The Democrats, Trump will probably carry Republicans on his coattails into Congress, and the Senate will go to the Republicans now, and the House was already theirs. So this lunacy and this demonic rhetoric directed against Trump, all of this has all failed. Well, Trump is supposed to be sentenced, or was that postponed? I thought it was July 14th they were going to sentence him, or July 15th, something like that. So I guess that's been postponed. We'll see what happened. AP is saying the shooter was 20 yards from, was a 20-year-old from Philly. I don't know. Did you see that on Associated Press? It was not there earlier. Let me see. I've seen photographs of the shooter, but I don't know who he is. AP News. Let's see what they've got. I don't see anything about the shooter. Oh, Richard Simmons is dead. Oh, my goodness. Dr. Ruth Westheimer died yesterday at 96, and then Richard Simmons dies at 76 today. Richard Simmons, the hyperactive court jester, physical fitness, died in his home in Los Angeles. He had a skin diagnosis in March. He was a 268-pound teenager who became a master of many media forms. Yep. Wow, Richard Simmons. His daytime show was on 200 stations in America, as well as Australia, New Zealand, Philippines, Japan, and South America. Wow. Wow, Richard Simmons is gone. 76. Man, oh man. The guy lived life to the fullest. And Dr. Westheimer passed away yesterday. Harley Quinn, there's been reports in the media that Trump requested more Secret Service and then it was denied. I don't know if that's true. I can't confirm that, but that has been reported in the media over the past couple of weeks, and they denied it. No, Biden can't rid people of firearms, Rose. This isn't Australia. This isn't New Zealand. This isn't South Africa. You can't take our firearms. You have to amend the Constitution. Now, they pass laws all the time to try to undermine our firearm rights, but they can't pull it off. It's not going to happen. So don't worry about that. That's not going to happen. Live updates. Let's see. Excuse me. Mike Johnson, rally attenders. Biden returning to Washington. A lot of mayhem. No, there's nothing here. Excuse me. There's nothing here about the shooter at AP. So I don't know where you're getting that from AP. It's not on the AP news site. Yeah, wow. Let me reload the age and see if anything. The extraordinary photo captures projectile streaking past his head. A photograph has a projectile streaking past the head. Let me see that. Where's that at? I don't see any photograph showing that. I don't see any photograph. They say they got a photograph. No. Oh my goodness. Folks, we dodged a bullet, literally. No pun intended there. We dodged a bullet today. This is insane. Richard Simmons dead. Wow. Trump. Man, what a stud. OG, man, the original gangster. The flag, Trump, that is going to be the iconic image for the age right there. Survives an assassination attempt. Takes his ear off. My goodness. But again, folks, let me show you. This is where the shooter was, on that white building across the street, 150 meters away. That's insane. That's insane. Why was that building not cleared? Why was someone with a rifle there? How does that even happen? You have to ask yourself that question. Unbelievable. Yeah, I'm sure he did hear the bullet whiz by. But that the age says they have an image of it, but there's no image of it. I see no image of it. Yep. Wow. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. The Guardian is one of the most objective reporters on this. It's insane. Who would have thought the Guardian? 9 new updates. Let's see what the updates are. Okay. Nothing there. Doubt anybody could see bullets. Was exactly. Well, you'd have. That would be a hell of a photo capture there. Matt says it's a 20-year-old from Butler. I don't know who it was. Gabby Gifford spoke out against it. She was shot in some violence a few years back. Wow. Now, the moment when Trump, you can see him reach up to his ear there. It's just unbelievable. Got his hat on there, his MAGA hat. This is unbelievable, folks. And on the eve of the Republican convention. Wow. Oh, my goodness. Well, I don't know what else we can say about this tonight. There's no more news coming up about it. No more news coming up about it. So at this hour, so. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, it's just that close. We came that close. That close to losing Donald Trump. Wow. It's crazy. Let me go to Truth Social and read Trump's. That's not what I want. That's Intuit's. What the hell's going on here? There we go. Truth Social. Okay. Trump. Real Donald Trump. He posted this at 8:42. That's it. That's the only thing he's posted. So I don't know where you guys told me he tweeted this, that, and the other. He's only got one thing up on Truth Social, so I'm not sure where people are getting these things. But Trump, BBC, BBC's doing a pretty good job reporting it. Secret Service give update.
Investigation unfolds surely.
Okay. Secret Service give me an update now? Or did they give it already? I think they might have given it already. I'm trying to get to where it's at. I don't see anything here, so I would be surprised if the Secret Service giving an update now. I don't see anything. It says Secret Service giving an update, but I don't see anything. Well, if they're giving an update, I don't see where it's at. There's not even anything on the page about this, so I don't know where they will give it an update at. They certainly didn't do it there. All right, so I don't know. There's people just BBC talking out their backside there. Again, South African news still not even reporting on it. Frankfurt Allgemeine, Irish Times, Le Monde, AP. And CNN. CNN. Jeez, many crickets. Let's go to the Washington Post. I haven't gone there yet. Warning from Cape Town. Shocking news. Wake up Trump. Trump rally. Shooting investigated. Assassination attempt. Ex-president is safe. 1 spectator killed. 2 critically wounded. We know that already. Suspected shooter was 20-year-old Pennsylvania man. Person familiar with the case says. Okay. Benjamin Netanyahu posted he and his wife Sarah were shocked. Person believed to fire the shots at Donald Trump's campaign rally is 20-year-old Pennsylvania man, according to person familiar with the investigation. Yep. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Twitter said that he and his wife were shocked by the attack on the president and pray for his safety and speedy recovery. Unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable. This is going to be news for some time. Trump is going to roll to victory. Roll to victory, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be an electoral landslide. We haven't seen anything like this since '84. That's what's going to happen now. Wow. Wow. The America First Policy Institute, a key outside group that seeks to elevate President Trump to his policies, held a virtual prayer vigil late tonight. Several religious leaders said in their prayers that there was no question that God intervened to spare Trump's life. Frank Pavone, the national director of Priests for Life, urged listeners to remember Trump's frequent admonition as rallies that his opponents are targeting not just him but his followers, and he's just standing in the way. We know that we're under attack, Pavone said in his prayer. This incident tonight is meant to scare us, to intimidate us, to silence us. We will not be silenced. We will not be held back in any way, shape, or form. There you go. Ronnie Jackson said his nephew was injured by a bullet that grazed his neck. Oh, my goodness. Representative Ronnie Jackson of Texas said his nephew was injured by a bullet. So that's one of the people who's critically wounded. They were in the friends and family pen. They heard the shots. Everybody dropped to the ground. He was grazed in the neck. The bullet crossed his neck, cut his neck, and he was bleeding. So that's one of the 2 people, Representative Ronnie Jackson of Texas, former the president's surgeon. Wow. Newt Gingrich blames Biden but says there will be fewer never-Trumpers tomorrow morning. Republican National Convention delegates land in Milwaukee discover news of Trump's shooting. Wow. Biden did speak with Trump, apparently. It didn't happen earlier. Biden also spoke with little Josh Shapiro and Butler PA Mayor Bob Dandoy. Butler County District Attorney Richard Goldinger said the shooter was on the roof of an office building, which was outside the security perimeter for the event. Outside the security perimeter. There's no such thing as outside the security perimeter. That's bullshit. He said he had no other details to share. An executive at a manufacturing company based in a cluster of buildings closest to the Trump rally said Saturday night the company worked with local police beforehand on security concerns. Police blocked off public access to the company's parking lot, and that space was available for law enforcement use. He had not heard from authorities whether the shooter was on top of the AGR building, but people said he was. AGR is a 97-year-old company that manufactures quality control equipment for the bottle industry. D.C. police have increased their presence across the city out of an abundance of caution. I guess they're worried that they're going to go after Biden now. A lot of anger, a lot of fear, a lot of crying after shooting at rally. Cindy Hillebrandt, the chairwoman of the United Republicans of Butler County, a local organization that works to get Republicans elected, had been at the rally site setting up a booth since 7 a.m. She said she was the second in a row and that everyone around her was having a great time as Trump began speaking. Suddenly, she heard what she described as popping sounds and saw Trump go to the ground. She saw another person had been shot in the upper right corner of the bleachers behind the former president. You just don't know what's going on. You're in a state of shock, wondering how to react to it. You think you would know how to react to stuff like that. When it happens, you really don't know how to react to it. A woman next to her had a young child who was up front hanging from the post, excited to see Trump. Now we have a 7-year-old somewhere out there that's just absolutely traumatized. After the shooting, there was a lot of anger, a lot of fear, a lot of crying. There were a couple people praying. I don't know who the shooter was, but whoever the shooter was, you know this is America. We're all allowed to like who we want to like. We're allowed to vote for who we want to vote for. I'm not a Joe Biden fan, not whatsoever. I don't know if there's anything like him I like, but I don't wish him ill and his family. Wow. Crazy. Witness at a rally says, my heart stopped when Trump went down. Erin Otenreith, a local real estate agent, said she was in the front row at the campaign rally for former President Trump when gunfire started. It was totally quiet. No one ran. It was very strange. Everyone just mostly concerned for the president. The gunfire began minutes into Trump's speech. Alton-Reed said before she saw Trump hit the floor, she thought neighbors might have been shooting off fireworks. My heart stopped when he went down. I was so relieved when they got him up to stand up because I really didn't know if it was ever going to stand up again, if he would stand up again. Alton-Wright said this is her 6th time attending a Trump rally. She also attended his inauguration, his speech. She hopes this doesn't stop Trump from doing more events. They're always great events. I came by myself because I always felt very safe. Attorney General Meritless Garland, said in a statement that he'd been briefed on the shooting at former President Trump's rally and briefed the president. The FBI, the ATF, U.S. Attorneys General, and for the District of Western Pennsylvania, and Department of National Security Service are working with Secret Service as well as state and local law enforcement. All right, so I think Fox News might be doing a press conference right now. Let me see if I can do that. Come on. Yeah, here we go. We got a press conference going on now, Fox. Let's get some updates on this, folks. Okay, I got to wait for ads to finish playing. This is such bullshit. I'm missing real-time news breaking because of ads. YouTube needs to stop this crap. Another ad. I have to sit through 2 ads, and how much did I miss it was being said? It's important for breaking news.
As you know, there was a grandstand, a very large area, a lot of people there when this all unfolded. The former president had come out and begun to speak shortly after 6 o'clock this evening. And within about 10 to 15 minutes, a number of sounds were heard, and it became apparent that shots were being fired in that direction. It was a chaotic scene. Law enforcement, I believe, acted heroically, quickly identifying and neutralizing the threat, as well as responding to assist the various victims. PSP had a significant presence on the scene along with all of our federal
Pennsylvania State Police.
At the time of the shooting. We have since enhanced that presence significantly, bringing in resources from all over the Commonwealth to ensure that we have a speedy, thorough investigation. We are working very closely with the FBI as we work through this. As you can imagine, because of the variety of crimes that have been committed, some are under federal jurisdiction, some are under state jurisdiction. And so, we're working through all of that, not an issue at all. We work seamlessly. But the FBI has maintained the lead on the attempted assassination. PSP will take the lead on the homicide and the shootings of the other individuals in the grandstand area. And so there are a lot of witnesses to be interviewed, a lot of things to be processed. There were some complicators that hopefully the next time we speak we can describe for you, but some complicators that slowed down some of the processing and the positive identification of the shooter. But know that at this time we have no reason to believe that there is any other existing threat out there. We are doing everything we can to make sure that this is thoroughly investigated, and that if there is any information developed that anyone else was involved, that between PSP and the FBI, that will very quickly be followed up on. So I think at this time we would open it up to questions from all of you.
Was this a lone wolf attack?
Again, I think it's too early to say that. We have one shooter tentatively identified, but
tentatively identified?
We're not stopping there. We're following up on a lot of information. It will be some time until we can conclusively say or answer that question.
How long do you think that government is hiding up there? We saw the snipers up there, as the crowds were kind of mulling in and looked at them, and we could point to check everyone out. So how long did that guy been up there?
Again, that'll all be part of the investigation, but
Come up to the mic, please.
that will all be part of the investigation. But I can tell you that preliminarily it appears everything unfolded very quickly. So, again, we'll have more information on that, but it's just too early to start definitively saying this happened at this exact time.
But it wasn't like he was inside the security perimeter, right? That building he was on was outside of the
That's correct.
check. How far outside of it was it?
We'll have that information for you. It was some distance outside of the security.
150 meters.
There were people who saw someone on the roof and tried to alert authorities.
We're following up on those. I will tell you that I am aware of those, and I am aware that law enforcement had responded to a number of reports of suspicious activity. The specific response to this will be all part of the after action, but yes, law enforcement was responding to check on several suspicious occurrences.
Bullshit.
What were the other suspicious occurrences?
That'll all be part of
Yeah,
it.
because it's all bullshit.
You said that you're close to identifying the shooter. Could you at least confirm that he is from Butler County, Pennsylvania? Is there anything else? Did he have any affiliation with that company, do you know?
So again, we're not prepared at this time.
Of course you
to
aren't.
provide the identity of the potential shooter.
The cover-up has to be put in place.
Doing the confirmation, and once we have the confirmation, we'll release the name.
You know who he is. The cover-up is being. The cover-up is being set in place.
No, it's a matter of doing biometric confirmations. So there was no identification on the individual, as an example. So we're looking at photographs right now. We're trying to run his DNA and get biometric confirmation on.
Would you be able to comment just what police found left behind? Any possible devices? Did you find any extra guns? Just anything else you'd be willing to comment?
Not at this time. No, we're still in the process.
What's the point of these briefings? They don't tell us anything.
We'd like to reserve releasing any information like that until we have more facts. From the FBI's perspective, no. We did not have any specific threat information related to this event. Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. So I think the credit goes to not only the Secret Service, who was on site, but also the state and local partners who were there on site and were able to react immediately when we.
They left the president to die. I don't want to hear that horse shit.
I do not.
I understand it's very early, there's still going to be a lot of questions, but I mean, is this a failure of security?
Yeah.
Really, at this point, we're not going to make that assessment.
I am.
There's an active investigation. A lot of things need to occur investigatively to make those determinations of what, if any, failures there were. So really, we can't comment on that at this time.
You can say if Secret Service had checked those buildings, or we're keeping a close eye, or?
Really have to defer to Secret Service for those questions.
At the AGR property prior to the event? Like, were there police at that location at any point during the event?
Are you saying the location where the shooter was located?
Yes.
I don't have any information on that.
Well, what good are you?
Defer to Secret Service.
When do you think you will release? When will the nation?
After they've put a fake narrative in place.
When that might happen, tomorrow, or?
So that'll be, as soon as we've confirmed 100%, we're willing to release that. So if we have, as far as the contact information for the press, we should be able to do that within the next few hours.
I'm sorry, sir. There was a vehicle being checked not far from here. We've also heard of a possible related scene in Bethel Park. Is there anything you can tell us tonight about other areas where law enforcement may be searching in relation to this event?
Again, right now, we're tracking down all leads and doing all interviews and tracking anything that we can regarding suspicious locations, vehicles, locations, interviewing individuals. So it's all related to this event, but I can't confirm or deny anything that's going on beyond that.
What can you tell us about the weapon that the shooter used?
As far as the details of the weapon?
Yeah, what kind of a rifle was that? What did he use?
Okay, until we have the confirmation of who the shooter is, and we'll release that as part of the investigative details.
Wasting our time.
It's primarily standard procedure of any suspicious packages. In this case, there was identification of suspicious packages around where the shooter was, and so we deployed, in an abundance of caution, bomb assets to make sure that those were cleared for investigators to move safely in the area. We're still working on, it's still an active crime scene, so I'm not going to say that the scene is 100% clear at this time. The Secret Service wasn't available for the press conference at this time.
Yeah, because they're trying to get their story straight.
Really anything. I don't have specifics on what they were looking at, but there's people in the crowd will leave bags as they're fleeing the scene like this. So any suspicious packages we have to treat as
he's right.
maybe an explosive device.
And then how quickly, this goes then, I guess, to the Secret Service, which they're not here to talk about, I guess, but when you guys jumped into action, all law enforcement, and were able to take down that shooter, how quickly did everybody jump in, and who ended up taking him out?
So it was immediate.
No, it wasn't.
And it was, we're still trying to figure that out. So we'll wait till we have more.
We saw the video.
Information
The sniper cowered and let the shots get off.
My understanding was it was from the shooter, but again, those will be details that are released later. So if that's where the leads take us, absolutely.
Was Donald Trump hit with a bullet, for sure, or was it something off that?
I don't have that specific information as far as the injuries to the former president.
I understand you're not releasing the suspect's identification right now, but as you know, is this person known to you guys? Is he somebody that you guys have been looking at through your threats he's possibly made online, et cetera, et cetera?
Again, the information that we currently have, we're looking at that obviously very intently, and as we know that information, we'll release that as well. So we'll need to plan another time for a follow-up press conference. We're looking at all investigative leads and all everything from, and that's why we asked the public, because I'm sure there'll be cell phone video, there'll be all kinds of information that we'll use to fully flesh out exactly what happened.
I know you're saying you can't say
what type of gun it is, but do you know how many shots were fired?
I don't.
And
I don't have that information as far as.
No, I wouldn't expect he would.
That'll come out in the investigation as well.
Is there an identification tonight on the other victims?
As far as the civilians,
The civilians that were injured and killed.
Yeah.
So we do have identification on those. We're not prepared to release it at this time. We have notified a number of family members, but they have not had an opportunity to notify extended family and things. I would confirm for you that we did have one individual killed, and I know I heard somebody say about 2 victims. There were 3 in total besides the former president. So 2 critically wounded, 1 killed.
At this point, do you know if they were sitting near each other and where in relation to the former president were they?
I don't have their exact seating by individual. Again, that will all be part of the investigation, but their shots were scattered somewhat, and so they weren't just into one particular location.
you're saying just one fatality as of right now?
Yes,
The shooter and one victim.
the shooter plus 1 fatality.
Did you have a chance yet?
So there was 1 victim of the shooter who was killed, and then the shooter was killed.
And then 2 in critical.
Yes, ma'am.
When is the place that say they saw a semi-automatic rifle by the shooter? Can you share any more details about that?
I've heard those reports as well, and again, we do have a good idea of what the weapon was, but again, that's all part of the ongoing investigation. And I'm not trying to be cagey about that. When the SAC talked about the need to be very methodical and to be cautious with that scene, we are doing just that. We don't want anybody else getting hurt, and candidly, there are some concerns that we'll be able to talk more about later on about just what those concerns are and continue to be.
Why would you have to talk to the shooter's family yet?
That's all part of the investigation.
After there are a lot of really angry people. Are you monitoring if there have been any threats in response to this? Are you worried if there have been any specific threats?
That's certainly a concern, and we're monitoring that whole situation. I mentioned that we're bringing a lot of assets to bear, and so like the FBI, utilizing their analysts, we also have the Pennsylvania Criminal Intelligence Center. We will utilize the resources of our intelligence division and the Criminal Intelligence Center to be able to monitor for concerns about any threats, regardless of the side of the issue or the political spectrum. We want to make sure that we try and avoid any further violence.
I know nothing specific so far.
No, sir.
Without identifying them by name, can you say anything about the other folks who were injured or killed? Were they adults, men, male, female, anything else?
They were adults, and they're male.
All 3?
Yes.
How difficult of a day is this for your department, though, where all your departments you have to go talk to these family members, including the civilians who were gunned down while they just went to a rally to try and, celebrate against the upcoming election? What are those conversations like, and how do you kind of get through that?
We have trained investigators, and we're partnered hand in hand with the FBI, again, because we've got some federal violations, some state violations, and so our investigators are going out methodically. We have a large team of investigators that are going out, dividing up these interviews and trying to conduct them as quickly as possible, and then there will be follow-ups. With the FBI asking for people to call in tips, I have no doubt that we will receive a lot of additional information. That will
no
also
doubt.
require
Not a
follow-up.
wasted time.
Again, we're working very well together, and
Just go to Twitter.
It's only a short matter of time until we get through all of those interviews.
Colonel, from your experience, how close a call was it for President Trump?
He got shot in the head.
There were no police hit with bullets.
From your experience, how close a call was it for President
I'm not going to speculate or comment on.
Good call.
Have any of you talked to the president? Did any of you have any kind of reaction?
Probably not.
Which law enforcement agencies were tasked with securing this particular route outside of the
Secret Service, Pennsylvania State Police.
Secret Service always has the lead on securing something like this, but then they work very closely.
Multi-jurisdictional.
I hate to use the word routine, but it is a fairly routine matter for all of our agencies to work jointly with the Secret Service, and it really depends on the venue, on what information is out there, what number of resources are devoted to it, and we work with them to provide whatever is requested by the Secret Service, but they're the lead in that security.
Was there anything about this venue that made it particularly difficult to secure?
It was easy to secure if they actually tried.
The Secret Service to answer that, they would have done the initial assessment.
Was the rooftop part of what was being secured? Was the rooftop given its proximity to the event part of that process?
It's my understanding that was outside of the perimeter. We're not going to comment on anything about the shooter.
Did any agency deny Trump's team extra security? Any of the agencies that are out there?
Not that I'm aware of.
If Trump had been the nominee already, would he have had additional security for this event?
There again, Secret Service has the lead, and I'm not going to comment or speculate on what may or may not be provided at any given point, depending on their status as a candidate. What I will tell you is that, in my experience, Secret Service does an excellent job.
Not tonight.
Of maintaining security on protectees.
Not tonight.
They're very cautious. They don't hesitate to ask for resources, and candidly, we don't hesitate to supply those resources.
Not tonight. Was it intentional? This was a shit show.
I think the videos and photos would be very helpful, and I think that once the shooter is identified, anyone that has specific information on that shooter, that would be very helpful as well to help us assess motive. And again, as I mentioned earlier, we are absolutely not taking for granted that this was a lone wolf attack, and so we would be looking for any additional information that might point us toward anybody else that may have had a hand in this.
Sir, at this point, what is the main focus of the investigation? What's the most important thing for you right now, a few hours?
Well, there's not any one single focus. I mean, certainly the immediate focus was life safety, getting the former president out of there, and to care, getting care to the other victims, and trying to secure the scene as quickly as possible. It shifted then from a life safety priority to then an investigative priority. And so I guess if I had to point to where we are right now, the single greatest priority would be to identifying a motive and whether there was anyone else involved.
We're just beginning the political season. Are you guys concerned with all of these rallies that happen and how they're set up? Is this going to change maybe the venues?
Again, I would refer you to the Secret Service in terms of what they work out with the campaigns. We will continue to supply resources, as I'm sure the FBI will, and local partners as well.
When this was announced, it was, there was quite a few days of a heads up that people were getting ready to come to this Trump rally. From a law enforcement perspective, when you announce a big event like this, all that time in advance, like a week out, does it give people more time to plan something like this?
I suppose, but there's a balance, I would think, that any of the campaigns on either side try to weigh. I mean, the point of them announcing it, I suspect, is because they want the crowd, and so it's not up to us in law enforcement to tell them when they should announce or how they should announce or how they should conduct it. We offer our best advice, again, working hand in hand with the Secret Service, offer our best advice of how best to secure and protect that venue.
Sir, considering how many people were there, and you have packed in there, and you have somebody at an elevated position with potentially a high-powered rifle.
Exactly.
How lucky is it that we were only talking about a couple of victims, as sad and tragic as that is?
Yep.
Well, we're certainly grateful that we don't have even more victims. And again, in terms of how this could have occurred, that will be part of this after-action report and an investigation that occurs so that we can hopefully ensure that something like this doesn't happen again.
Has an autopsy been conducted yet, or is it scheduled?
Oh, good Lord.
It has not been conducted.
Give me a break. An autopsy.
I do not.
He's from the FBI.
So we have the 1-800-CALL-FBI if you have audio tips, and then we set up a specific tip line for audio and video, and that's FBI.gov/Butler. Anything that anyone has that is related to this incident that they think may be of assistance investigatively.
Yeah.
We'll take anything.
They said they wanted everything on January 6th, too, and they ignored most of it because it didn't match their prescribed narrative.
So from what you can bring from, it sounds like law enforcement only knew he was up there until shots were fired. Is that what you're hearing?
So that
That is the assessment this time. That
So are you surprised that a sniper was able to fire off a handful of shots at the former president? I mean,
again, we're still working through.
He's asking the right question.
Security apparatus that the Secret Service had in place, what potentially happened. There's going to be a long investigation into exactly what took place and how the individual was able to get access to the location, what type of weapon he had. All that is.
And why police didn't respond when people pointed out the shooter before he started shooting.
It is surprising, but again, to get the truth, all the details of that will come out later in the investigation.
Yep, it is very surprising. I wish I was in this press conference.
And the Secret Service
I would blow this up.
Answer that question. They conduct the initial site survey. They do the initial security assessments.
And they failed.
Determine where the different security locations should be.
They failed.
They're the ones who are in charge of securing the scene. We, along with other state and local assets, are there to support the Secret Service in their mission.
How many troopers and agents were at the rally?
Not going to answer that question.
And how is that number determined?
I'm not going to answer that question. That's
So
tactics.
Specific numbers.
And you have no business telling.
No, I can speak just for PSP. We had physically on site there probably 30 to 40.
That's dumb. You shouldn't be telling people this.
But we also have additional resources in the area.
Shouldn't be telling people that.
Utilize aviation, for example, and a variety of other resources.
You shouldn't be giving people your operations, your tactics.
Beforehand that really aren't counted in.
There's no value to this.
And again, the number is driven by what the request is from the Secret Service. You know, just in their defense, I mean, what I would want to say is it is incredibly difficult to have a venue open to the public and to secure that against any possible threat, against a very determined attacker. That's a huge lift to try and do it. And
This wasn't that complicated.
Again, the investigation will really give us an opportunity to take a look at where any failures occurred and what can be done better in the future.
Lieutenant Colonel Gibbons, do you know when another briefing might be held? Tomorrow?
We don't have one scheduled, but I would tell you we will let you know, give you plenty of notice. Certainly, as soon as additional things develop that would be noteworthy or of interest to you, we'll get that scheduled and have another with you.
Locally, what can residents, businesses expect to happen with the investigation in the next couple of days? What's going to be going on here?
Well, again, the interviews will all be occurring, and so they may see law enforcement in their communities. People came from a wide area to come to this rally, I'm told. So, there's going to be law enforcement fanning out, and
all over the state.
As additional calls, photos, videos come in, those additional interviews will result in law enforcement being out in the community conducting those interviews. But otherwise, they really shouldn't see any other significant impact in the
Could you
community.
confirm whether it's a male or female, the homicide, the bystander who died?
They're all male. Are you deaf? He said they're all male. Pay attention, dingbat.
I'm from a European outlet from Poland, and I already get these text messages from back home, and people are asking, how could this happen? What's going on in America? I know that it's a philosophical question, but how could you talk to the people outside the United States about what happened here?
Well, again, what I would say is a tragic incident that occurred. We're not in a position to start second guessing how or why or
I
anything
am,
else at this point.
and have
Just
second
know that
guessed.
it will be thoroughly investigated. If there is anyone to prosecute, that will be done, and we'll move forward. But I don't have a good answer for you.
We'll just take one last question.
I know that PSP said that you guys were not aware of any additional requests from the Trump team for security. What about the FBI? Was there an additional request for additional security from the Trump team, and was that denied in any way, shape, or form?
No, there was no additional request for security that was ever denied by the FBI.
What does the FBI do?
The FBI doesn't provide security.
So we showed up after the fact.
Right.
We were monitoring
the event, but it was once the incident occurred that we come and we take the primary jurisdiction.
They have no role in this until after the incident.
Thank you.
That's it.
Well, as we have additional information, we'll provide it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, folks, at this hour, at after midnight on the East Coast of the United States, that's what's going on here. Yeah, so, wow, authorities speaking after the Trump assassination attempt, and that's going to wrap it up there out in Butler County, Pennsylvania. Yeah, insanity, folks, absolute insanity what's going on. Yeah, wow. So, once again, for those of you just tuning in at this hour, it's now early morning in South Africa, 6:30 in the morning. At about 6:13 in the evening Eastern Standard Time, so that'd be 13 minutes past midnight in South Africa, a shooter attempted to assassinate President Donald John Trump at a rally in western Pennsylvania, approximately 3 hours from where I'm currently sitting. And what happened was he fired several shots, initial shots. One of them hit Trump in the head. It took off part of his ear. Trump reached up, heard another shot, saw the blood on his hand, ducked, went down for cover. CNN, the fake media outlet that it is, claimed that Donald Trump fell during a rally. He didn't fall. He correctly sought cover during a shooting. The gunman killed a bystander who was present and wounded critically two others, including one who's the nephew of a Texas state representative from the state of Texas. The gentleman who used to be the physician for Trump, if I'm not mistaken, Ronnie Jackson. And then on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, we see all kinds of strange things happening. The shooter was located about 150 meters, 170 feet away from Trump on the opposite side of the road on top of a roof that was painted white. People on the street saw the man crawling up on the roof, told police. The police took no action for over 2 minutes before shots began to be fired. We saw another video later on in which somebody was watching Trump, and you can see Trump's head turn in the direction where he spoke, and that's what saved his life. Had he been facing this way, it would have hit him here instead of hitting him here. The sniper from the Secret Service was on the roof and had a rifle trained in the general direction. I don't know if it was on the shooter, but trained in that direction, and did not shoot. When the shooter fired at Trump, the sniper fell back and his gun came out of position like a coward, and multiple shots rang out before he got his gun back in place and shot back at the shooter. At this hour, that's what we know. All the victims were male. No females were injured or killed, and the shooter was shot and killed. We're being told that the person is from Pennsylvania, but there's no confirmation of that from authorities. This was a press briefing with the FBI, the Pennsylvania State Police, and local authorities. The Secret Service was not there. Ladies and gentlemen, what I can tell you is this is an epic failure, either through incompetence or through intentional negligence by the Secret Service to allow this to happen. From Bethel, Pennsylvania. Okay, well, no, you say he's been identified by whom, Drunken Yoda? By whom? Someone also was running out earlier saying it was some guy named Violets, and that wasn't true. So when you say that, he's been identified by whom? Thomas Matthew Crooks. Okay, let me do that. Let me try to look that up and see who this guy is. Because if that's who it is, they will be trolling the guy's social media. New York Post is saying he's identified. The gunman who attempted to assassinate Trump was identified as 20-year-old Matthew Thomas Crooks. Crooks of Bethel squeezed the shots off one of which grazed Trump in the air at an outdoor event. Well, that's what they're saying, but I don't know. That's what they're saying. All right, so that may be the case, but we don't know. All right, so that's the situation this hour. Yep. Yeah, I see New York Post, but that doesn't mean it's true, Duncan Yoda. I mean, there's a lot that happens at these hours. We already saw people reporting all kinds of stuff. Yeah, well, I don't know what he is, but let's see if we can't find him on social media. Google, paste. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, Ronnie Jackson says it was his nephew. So, yeah, here we go. Let's listen in on that.
Yes, Sean. So my nephew was at the event tonight, and they were in the friends and family pen, and they heard the shots, and everybody dropped to the ground. And I don't know if you guys have the picture or not, but he was grazed in the neck. A bullet crossed his neck, cut his neck, and he was bleeding.
This is your nephew.
He got up.
Congressman, this is your nephew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my nephew. They were there. I'd set them up. They went to the rally. They were in the friends and family pen, which was just to the president's right, down a little bit lower on the left on the screen, but to the president's right in the line of fire. And they heard shots coming in. Apparently, there was someone also that were 4 or 5 rows behind them that was critically injured. Whenever he was shot, they realized that a bullet had grazed his neck. My sister-in-law had encouraged him to go to the first aid tent, to the triage tent. They went to the triage tent, and when they got to the triage tent, while they were there was another member of the crowd, unfortunately, that was in the triage tent that was on a gurney in the tent that had a devastating wound, had a critical wound to the head, that was dead. Yep.
Yep. So there you go. So that's. Yeah, the social media is just having their fun with this tonight. I mean, someone attempted to murder the president of the United States, and this is the garbage we deal with here. So, yeah, everybody's saying Thomas Matthew Crooks. Yep. Oh, that's pretty cool. Somebody just... Oh, that's a pretty good... Many crickets. So this is what somebody put up already on Twitter. Look at that. Jiminy crickets, people. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, anyway. Yeah, somebody says, luckily the same people investigate January 6th and Las Vegas shooting are on top of this one here. Trump. I was on Twitter. He had 3,000 followers. If that's him. I don't know if it's made up or not. Thomas.matthew.crooks. Let's try and see if that's real. Let's see. No. Yep. Yep. Just trying to find something there now. All right. Well, the New York Post was the first to identify him, I guess. Okay. All right, folks. Yeah, I'm looking to see if there's any more news on this. There hasn't been a single dispatch or news report on this coming out. The York County Republican Committee said all of us at York Republican Committee are deeply shocked and sad by the senseless attempt to assassinate former President Trump at a rally in Butler. Grateful President Trump is alive and only suffering minor wounds. Heartfelt, deepest sympathies go out to the family of the only known fatality of the attendee at this point. We pray for the President, pray for the families of anyone injured or killed in this senseless attack. Wow. Unbelievable, folks. Man, oh man, man. This is democracy and risk here. Man, oh man, oh man. I don't know what to tell you, folks. All right, I'm going to wrap it up here. It's been 2 hours and 43 minutes of coverage here. Once again, at this hour, President Donald John Trump has survived an assassination attempt in which he was shot in the head. It just took the tip of his right ear off, and then much more happening, and many things that will be discussed as this goes forward here. The fact that Trump had his head turned to the right saved him if he had been looking straight and forward. And that's what I'm saying, Mary. It's right. He turned his head, and that's why it was missed. Otherwise, if he'd been speaking like this, straight on, instead of turning his head like that, it would have hit him right in here. I believe it might have been hit another time. We don't know. Yep. So there you go. All right, folks. Have a good evening. And I don't know if I'll be broadcasting tomorrow. If I do, it'll be tomorrow evening, most likely. There might be some live streams during the day. I'll be spending my day with the Conscious Caracal, Ernst von Sale and Ernst Rutz, who are currently in the United States. I'll be meeting them tomorrow in Maryland. And late tomorrow morning, we'll spend several hours together. So hopefully we'll have something to share with you, either about South Africa or about the United States. So all right, take care of yourselves. Have a good night. Good day for those in South Africa. I need to get some sleep because I have to get up early to go do this. Appreciate you all being here. God bless. And thank you for your patronage. Be sure to hit the like button and share this link with people. Let them know the coverage we had. You'll find me much more animated at the beginning of this. Cheers.